Hello, everyone. This is Maria LaBrosse, Chair of Giving Tuesday, Southwest Florida, live today here in Southwest Florida. We're coming to you from WKDW 97.5 FM out of Northport, Florida, on the Bishop West Real Estate Mobile Tower, but we are live on Facebook Live today on the KDW Radio Facebook page, the Giving Tuesday Southwest Florida Facebook page, and on YouTube today. You can also listen to us not only online, on air, you can listen through your Alexa. So just say to your Alexa, and if you're listening right now, I'll turn her on for you. Alexa, play WKDW 97.5 FM, Real Community Radio. Well, enough about me. Let's talk a little bit about Giving Tuesday. And let's see what Giving Tuesday is. Now, all of you have been around for a while, but many of you may not realize what Giving Tuesday is. And with everybody today, I am the tech, and I am hosting a lot. Giving Tuesday is a global generosity movement fueled by the power of social media and collaboration, unleashing the power of people to transform their communities in the world. It's a simple idea. Whether it's making someone smile, helping a neighbor or stranger out, showing up for an issue or people we care about, or giving some of what we have to those who need our help. Every act of generosity counts, and everyone has something to give. What does that mean for all of us in the world today? Well, I'm going to bring on stage, and this is a virtual stage, and I'm so happy to have our guests in this first hour. And every hour, we will have different guests, and if you go to Facebook, Giving Tuesday, SWFL, and also KDW Radio Facebook page, the schedule of today is up there. But enough about that. What about these nonprofits that are coming on with us today? The ones that you really care about. Who do you care about? Well, let me introduce to you Steve Leclerc from from Northport.
Thank you for having me.
Janet Watermeyer, Executive Director of the Visual Arts of Punta Gorda, and Stacy Calvino, Visual Arts Center of Punta Gorda. Hi, guys.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Well, you guys are the first guests today, and I'm so excited because with so many of you have really done marvelous things over the years with your organizations, but also during this stressful time. And one of the things is I'm going to have a roundtable. The way that the formatting for our audience to know today for Giving Tuesday SWFL is we're going to be bringing up guests every hour, all of them, all for the same hour, each group. And the first group is Hope for Northport and the Visual Arts Center of Florida. And many of them are taking us on tour of their facilities. One of the great advantages through our pivots is we've learned how to do social media in a way, even on the radio, to take us on tour. Before we would used to bring everybody into the station or doing things like that, but today's world, you can stay at your own location and show us your beautiful place. Because you can talk about it, but we're such a visual society, aren't we, guys?
We are.
We are. And this way you can showcase what you do have. So let's start with Janet Watermeyer and Stacy from the Visual Arts Center. And explain to us who you are, what you do, and what's going on at the Visual Arts.
Well, I'm Janet Watermeyer, and I'm the Executive Director of the Visual Arts Center. And if you can imagine, although all businesses have had real challenges during this COVID-19 time, can you imagine being the community's social gathering place? at a time when social gathering and social distancing are important. It has truly been amazing. So we have had to very quickly transform our organization into one that is digital friendly. And we're trying to kind of walk a very fine path between those people that are ready to re-engage. So we have taken our facility and we've put up plastic barriers and cleaning stations and all of the safety precautions that we possibly could think of. Plus, we've gone online with an online studio, and we've taken our exhibits virtually online. You can even buy artwork right off the wall from your living room. So it's really been a very quick transformation. But I think we would all like to get back to normal when we can have great parties and invite lots of people in to celebrate art. Stacy, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Stacy Calvino, the Business Development Director at the Visual Arts Center, and I'm excited to be participating in Giving Tuesday today. It's a very important day for a lot of the nonprofits in our area, and especially for us. It's a chance to reach out to our members and say thank you for being part of us, and also a way for people to support the Visual Arts Center today. And I'm excited to take us on a tour of the building and show some of the changes that we've been putting in place this year.
So shall we walk around?
Sure. I'll go ahead and leave the offices and take you away.
All right. And while you're doing that, talk to us a little bit about what we're seeing around here. Yes, go ahead, Janet. You're good at doing tours.
She's still talking?
No, you're on.
I'm on. Okay. What we see behind you right now is an ornament wall. All of these ornaments, you can kind of pan that, Stacy, and show them, are handmade by Visual Arts Center artists. And they all have brought them here for you. They're very affordable, very different. Everything from beautiful little fish to gorgeous hand porcelain painted bells and everything in between. So if you're ready to decorate your Christmas tree, think about the Visual Arts Center and come on and take a look at these gorgeous ornaments. As we continue down here, we're going to take you into Golf Gallery, which is our members gallery here at the Visual Arts Center. So if you're a Visual Arts Center member, it's very affordable. It's $55 a year. Then you get to participate in this gallery.
She's freezing up a bit.
Janet. Group. It's a
As she's freezing up and that, I'll try to fill in. And Steve, you can hop in here because
Sure.
As a visual arts is freezing up, and that is the technology today. And in the background, actually,
Yeah, I think we're good.
there you go.
Okay.
You're back.
Stand here and pan it.
Yeah.
You're back, guys. And then we lost you again.
Can you see?
You're frozen. Well,
Here we have some gorgeous Christmas trees. And of course, we're trying to engage. So if you are a Giving Tuesday contributor and you walk into the Visual Arts Center, we're going to give you one of these lovely Visual Arts Center ball Christmas decorations that you can put on your tree. So come on in and see us if you're feeling up to it and ready to re-engage with the public. Let's walk in here a second, Stacy, and let's just show them our new glass studio.
oh, that's exciting.
And one of the things I want to point out are the partitions that we have. So there's lots of plexiglass, so you can be very safe and you can take your mask off and actually work on glass because we've separated you from everybody else. And we've done this in all of our classrooms. But this is where we make stained glass and fused glass, and we have all the supplies right here for you to be able to come and enjoy. Let's keep going. You know, it's interesting. This is our education wall here. So if you're interested in art, everything from pottery to glass etching to fiber arts to fine arts, acrylic, oil, watercolor, you name it, we have it. And this is where we introduce all of our instructors. So if you want to pick up a schedule of what's going on for 12 weeks, or you want to learn about someone with a biography, this is where you come and do that, right here at this class wall. And we have lots of it. We had a lot of fun. It's all over, but you might want to show this wall. We partnered this year with the committee for the downtown Punta Gorda Christmas tree. And they had a Christmas card contest. And you were able to submit your Christmas cards. And there were 3 selected as a winner. And all the proceeds for this go to support a brand new Christmas tree for downtown Punta Gorda. So as you see that going on around town, make sure you donate a little bit to help them get this new Christmas tree. We are wandering now in our gift shop. So what you're seeing here is all handmade items from probably the best kept secret in town. You can buy things very affordably. Everything is unique. It's really a great place to shop. So when you're ready for that last minute Christmas gift, we will be open until noon on Christmas Eve. So you can zip in and pick up something. Why don't we go over and look at some of this stained glass for a minute, or this fused glass for a minute. This is Jeannie Duke, one of our instructors, and this is her beautiful work here. You can see all handmade, absolutely beautiful. This is called the sugar technique. It gives you a very unusual top. And then, of course, we have lots of beautiful jewelry and everything you can imagine. You can just see by looking at the walls. There's really a wonderful selection.
And what great Christmas gifts to take.
Can you hear me?
Can you repeat that, Marie?
Yeah, what a great place to go Christmas shopping for those, unique gifts.
Yes.
Absolutely, it's perfectly wonderful. Stacey, I don't know if you can get down here or not, but this is all hand-painted porcelain, done in the ways of forever in the past. And you can see that adorable little China cheese set. I just see something like that for my granddaughter. So if you have a little granddaughter out here and you want to give her that adorable tea set, this is where you can get it. Why don't we keep going, Stacey?
We're going to keep going. We're keep going.
Keep going, and we're going to come down here. Oh, yes. Do we have something for you next weekend? This weekend coming up. It's called the Peace River National Art Festival. And we're going to be out at Lashley Park. We have about 60 vendors from around the country, all with fine art. And we're going to do it outside, social distances, with masks, all the precautions. So it's a great way for you to come out and start your art Christmas shopping this year.
Thank
you. This is what we call our holiday wall. You can show them the holiday wall without being in it, I think. This is a wonderful thing. Because we couldn't have our traditional holiday market this year because of COVID, we instead have our artists all in space, and you can come in and pick up all these nice holiday decorations or holiday gifts. It's really a lot of fun.
Aren't those fun, Marie?
Excellent. And what, all of us are struggling right now just to get into the holidays. As they freeze up again. What a great way, Steve, to actually get,
Kind of zoom in on that a little bit.
Yeah.
As they're struggling. And that's one of the things when the Wi-Fi signal goes down. Go ahead, ladies. Okay, they're frozen.
Did you hear me? Can you?
Now I can.
Okay, we're having trouble hearing you, Marie. So we're talking.
Oh, we lost them. We lost
them. Hey, I was down at Fisherman's Village just the other 2 weekends ago with my family when they were in town, and we were coming out, and we were passing the visual arts studio, and my wife's a teacher in Charlotte County, but she's never been there. I said, it's a great place. I was there before. You ought to go. It's
my word. And with Giving Tuesday, so many people are struggling right now that are nonprofits, especially in the arts, you know, because so many had
the crafting season has pretty much been non-existent.
Well, and I know the Northport Arts Center, along with the visual arts, have things, outdoor events coming up. And I suggest for people, if you do go out, do an outdoor event, and something like this, I know that they're taking the necessary precautions, CDC guidelines. Yep. So to make sure that everything is going fine, Steve, while we're waiting for them to, I think they're coming back on.
I like the fact that they're open till noon on Christmas Eve. I can be that last minute shopper and get those
You
gifts.
guys, you guys are always a last minute shopper. I remember many years my husband, and I was a store manager at Kmart for over 20 years ago, but I was with him for 19 years. And the men always come in at the last minute to buy that last.
Well, we know we can go to the art center up until noon on Christmas Eve.
Hey!
Steve, we will look for you at 11:59.
Yeah, excellent. I love supporting local businesses, especially local artists as well. It's for them that they keep the vibrance of what's going on in our society and community alive. And if you haven't supported a local artist, I encourage you to do so.
Absolutely. Janet, are we ready again to continue our tour?
We are ready to continue our tour with the hopes we can keep connected. How's that?
That's okay. I have Steve here. We'll fill in the blanks.
Well, I know I'm not worried because I know you have a lot of interesting things to say, and I know Steve has a lot of interesting things to say about his organization as well. Because one of the things we do is we all want to support nonprofits together. We really do think of ourselves as nonprofits. We actually have, because there are 2 holidays going on, very important holidays, we also have a Hanukkah wall. So it's really to celebrate the Jewish Hanukkah holiday, and we do both here, and we do it very, very well, we think, for everyone. Here, we're going into our main gallery.
And she's frozen again. So Steve,
Very
Seems
special
like they got
exhibit.
some spots in the middle of their building that aren't getting too good signal.
yeah, some of
If you haven't been to their main gallery, they do great gallery showcases there.
Can they not see this? Can you not see this?
We can see you
now. Yes.
Wonderful. So this is a special exhibit. It's called Off the Wall. There is nothing in here over $200, and you can come in, you can look at it and pull it off the wall and take it home. That's unusual for us because usually you have to leave the artwork through the exhibit. So Stacy's just going to wander around very
See, there's
slowly.
one missing right there, that hook.
That's sold.
They got hooked, right?
Yes, you can come take it right off the wall as long as you stop by the front desk and make that purchase.
And that's wonderful to be able to have that unique gift, because you're not going to find another gift like this. Another
Absolutely,
piece of
it is
art.
one of a kind. Go over here and show these birds if you can. Susie.
Okay, sure.
I think some of these are absolutely
I just want to turn the music down. Will you?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I'm going to show you some birds. We're going to turn the background music down.
Okay. Thank you, Stacy. And Stacy, tell us a little bit while we're waiting. Okay, go ahead and talk about the birds.
Look at these beautiful birds. I mean, they are so Florida, and they are so realistic looking. I mean, they've captured them in flight with a photograph and then turned around and hand painted them. So they're absolutely gorgeous. Here's another one here. I think this is my favorite one. You can actually, I don't know if you can see it here on the camera, but you can actually see the water drops from the bird flapping its wings. It's absolutely gorgeous.
That one's got a little reflection because it's metallic printing, and so you're catching the light from the gallery.
So there's all kinds of fun things here at the Visual Arts Center, but most importantly, we need to keep going, and we need to keep going until we can get back to being normal, and that's been a real challenge for us. At the Visual Arts Center, since COVID-19 has begun, it has affected us to more than $150,000 in activity that we just can't ever make up. So that is why Giving Tuesday is so important to us, maybe more this year than ever, although it's always important because we want to grow art, we want to support our artists. But right now, it is critically important. And our board of directors has decided that they are matching all donations today. Wow. So 100% donations up to $1,000 of every donation anybody makes. So if you want to have a good investment, invest in the Visual Arts Center. So I think that's kind of our tour. We're going to head back to the office, Marie, and you can.
I'll do Steve while you're.
Sounds great. We'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you for the tour, ladies.
Thank you guys so much for the tour, and we're going to remove them and bring Steve up here.
I would definitely encourage, if you haven't been there in person, it is a little gem in our backyard,
Absolutely. And Steve, I want to talk a little bit now while we're waiting for them to get back into the settled down and stuff. Tell me a little bit about Hope for Northport, and you've done some pivoting yourself. So
we've had to do a lot of pivoting with COVID and the protocols that had to go in place. It put a lot of our outreaches as on caution. So we took that time to reflect on who we were serving, how we were serving them, and what the needs were moving forward with who we were serving through those outreaches. We realized there was some duplication of some of our services, so we've decided to pull back on some of those things. And our focus now is, we realized over the last 5 years there's a large population of vulnerable children and families within a pocket where we're at. So I'd love to show you a place and give you a tour, but that's one of our needs right now. We're looking to bring an enrichment program for the at-risk school-age elementary kids. We know there is over 72% of the kids at the local elementary right in our backyard that are on free lunch. And we know that with the population growth in Northport, we're struggling to even make a dent and catch up to providing that kind of care. We know coming out into and through and out of COVID that, families having a safe place for their kids to be will give them the opportunity not only to get extra hours in work, but our program's designed to help come alongside not only the children, because my passion and my talent and my time has been spent advocating for kids that are at risk over the last 2 decades, but also coming alongside those families to connect them to the great resources, even places like the Art Center. I mean, we know art is important in processing our feelings and dealing with situations. So whether it be the Visual Arts Center or the Northport Arts Center, we know that there are other mediums and other organizations that are there that can be benefit to those children and their families. So we're in the process of beginning our licensing process, looking for a location. We have a temporary one we're looking to license, but obviously we know the need is great in this city. So we're looking towards the future as well. And I want to thank you guys, WKDW, KDWradio.com. You guys have always been the voice, not only on Giving Tuesday, but you've been the voice of the community throughout, and you really allowed us to get the word out and to the service that we offer, as well as to the supporters out there that want to help support the things that we're doing. So we appreciate you guys for all you do.
Well, thank you, Steve. And this segues into something for all of us. I'll actually bring all of us up on screen here. One of the things that we're doing, and we're doing the kickoff today for Giving Tuesday, is you're talking about the voice there. And I'm the Giving Tuesday Southwest Florida chair, but I'm also a show host here at the radio station. That gives the opportunity to everybody to come on the radio and tell everybody what you're doing and what's going on. Well, we were just notified that we're eligible now, starting in February, to put in for licensing for another license that'll do 1,000 watts, that we can go 60 miles or more out with a strong signal.
Wow.
And we're going to try to raise $20,000 from now with Giving Tuesday all the way through the end of January. Well, people don't give to a radio station, even though we're an all-volunteer 501c3. Not one person here gets paid. We do it out of the love for our community. Truthfully, I would have never put me or ever thought that was on my bucket list to be a show host on a radio station, but I've learned how to do the technology. And I will be 71 this next month, Christmas Eve, by the way. And
we can pick you up something at noon, by noon at the Art Center.
You're right. There you have it. Now I'm preaching in my house. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. But anyhow, when we're talking about these things, I know with Janet, you were talking about the needs, and with your board of directors stepping up to do matching funds. Now, how would I donate to you guys? Because we have the PayPal giving button now that we were for nonprofits out there, PayPal has a PayPal for nonprofits, and they have a giving fund. And if they ever have matching money, you have to be through that one. And I made the sorry, Arcade. I made the radio station get registered for that. And so they have that up on our website, kdwradio.com. Facebook, all of you have your donate button. If you give through Facebook, all fees are waived. So that's the way that anybody can do that, and do a fundraiser for your favorite nonprofit today. It's a peer-to-peer thing. It actually helps raise money for the Visual Arts Center.
Yeah. For the Visual Arts Center, you go to visualartscenter.org, and right at the top of the very front page, there's a donate button. So it's very, very easy to do. And Steve, I was going to ask you the same thing. If I want to donate to you, how do I do it?
Well, we're blessed. This Giving Tuesday, we have a match, a $5,000 match. So we're having funds matched up to $5,000 on our Facebook page. That's Hope, FORNP. Or you can go to Hope, HOPEFORNP.org, and just like your page, we have a donate button right there on our landing page for you to donate and help support us. We're blessed right now. We're already a quarter away to our goal, so we're right now early into Giving Tuesday. We're praying that we can be able to get our goal. Our goal today is to be able to sponsor 4 children to be able to attend the program once we're able to launch it. So
wonderful.
If you look, if our audience looks at the page up here, here's the visual arts information. I don't know if you can see that real well, but I have their website up there, their Facebook page, and any of their Twitter handle and Instagram. So any of those places. Now, the only place that matching money today on Facebook is on the Facebook page, not the Instagram. And I'm going to explain to people because they're really confused, because Facebook usually is gone within a couple of minutes. And the first 2 million this year is, but they're doing the next 5 million different. So the way that it works for the next 5 million is they only are doing 10% of the donation. They're matching, and that check that's a check that'll show up probably the end of February, but for the match, that'll be a check coming through. 10%, I figured out the math, $50 million has to be donated for that 10%. That means us little guy will at least get, maybe, if we're lucky, $100, $200, or it started at 8 o'clock for the match. So
but every little bit helps, Marie. Every little bit helps. I mean, it doesn't matter how small the donation. It's really, truly appreciated, particularly now.
Right.
Janet, I wanted to talk to you about all the different things that you've lost, because you did events. And I was one of the judges at one time and I love that event, where you take very well-known business people within the community, and you team them up with go ahead, I'll let you tell your story.
Well, that's our Battle of the Brushes, and it's a very important fundraising, community connection, and art event. So what we do is we pick 6 people in the community who volunteers, community leaders, and we pair them with an artist. And they work together on their own art creation. And then we have a great big party where we auction them off and show them. And they're always marvelous. You're just amazed at the artwork from sometimes someone who's never ever picked up a paintbrush. And they're just fabulous. And we really missed that this year. That was a significant event we had to cancel. We also had to cancel our holiday market, which we invite all of our artists to bring all of their holiday wear, their holiday goods and gifts and artwork. And the Visual Arts Center is table to table all throughout, and you can come and find some marvelous things. And we were missing that this year. It's usually a 3-day event this coming weekend. So instead, when COVID-19 hit in March, we were ready to host our Peace River National Art Festival out at Ashley Park. We do that every year. We had to stop. We stopped 1 week out. So you've already spent all the advertising, marketing, everything you're going to do, and now you can't host the event. So we had to cancel that, and we actually postponed it, and we're hosting it this weekend. And we're really excited because we have, of our 60 vendors from last March, we have 50 of them returning and 10 new ones. So we have artists eager to see people again and show their art and sell their art, because many of them have not been able to do anything for the last 6 to 9 months. So we're very excited, and we hope you come out. We're really going to take care with social distancing. There'll be lots of sanitizers, everything you need. Plus it's outside in beautiful Lashley Park. So there's plenty of open space.
And the weather is supposed to be beautiful.
Yes, it's not even going to be really hot.
No, and that's actually fun to do. No, I'm bringing up on the screen here so people can see Hope for Northport's information too. Steve, go ahead and address that.
All right. So, you got our banner. I didn't get you over any of the good stuff, did I? So Hope for Northport, you can visit us at, like I said, HOPFORNP.org. You can also get us on Instagram or Twitter at Hope for NP. You can email us at info at hopefornp.org, or you can call us at 941-735-4410. If you want to mail us a donation, it's 5600 South Biscayne Drive, Northport, Florida, 34287.
Well, and I wanted to mention to people, Giving Tuesday isn't just all about money. I know that these are nonprofits, but it's about thanking people and thanking your volunteers. Volunteers are priceless. And another thing is, do you help the neighbor? There's a neighbor out there. How about that person that's isolated right now because of COVID? Send them a card. If it's a neighbor, bring them a meal. You know, when you're cooking or something, make that conversation. Do you remember the TV show that he would look over the fence like this and you'd only see the eye?
Yes.
And you know, be that neighbor. Be that neighbor that for that isolated person out there. And maybe there's an elderly person around you that can't do some of the work, mow their lawn or go pick up some brush, you know, in their yard that they're not physically able to do. And it's any age, from the child to the octogenarian. It covers everybody. It's, what is it about? And I probably will show backward. Be kind. If you can be anything, just be kind, because there's so much toxic. Go ahead, say the word.
Toxicity.
Yeah, in the world today, you know, and all you have to do is be kind. That's all we're asking, because out of kindness and out of lemons become lemonade.
Right.
And one of the pivots, and let's go into that because we still have some time here. Let's talk about the pivots. I know, Janet, you were addressing that, and Steve, you were addressing that, but let's go deep down and really feel how it's affected you personally, Janet, because, you know, the stress, mental health is outrageous right now. I myself am a very upbeat person, but I find myself sometimes a little depressed because I can't see you guys in person. You know, this is the first time I've been out. I'm in the radio station. There are people in here, but when we're by close proximity, we have masks on and, you know, there's sanitizer and all. I'm missing people in person, although I get to see you guys here, where I may not have run across you.
I think everybody's missing everybody, and it truly is. We had Thanksgiving this year, and my family that's local here that has pretty much hunkered down was able to go and have Thanksgiving with my mom, who's 89 years old. But none of the rest of her family could. And so you rely on digital. We had a Zoom family Thanksgiving. We played bingo, Thanksgiving bingo with the kids. It was wonderful. We connected. But you know, here at the Visual Arts Center, all of a sudden our halls are empty, right? And what are you going to do? So we created a brand new online studio for our instructors. So this is really wonderful for talking, but can you imagine what you have to do for paint and colors? You need good lighting so that they can see exactly what's going on. You need to be able to switch cameras around. So we created a studio with a desk that goes up and down, so you can either be at an easel or you can be sitting, and with all the lights so that you can create the right kind of light for art. We ended up putting up and investing in a significant amount of plastic banners, vertical banners that you can put between people. So even if you're doing a portrait studio and you have a model and you have 10 artists in the room, you have your own little space, but you can see everybody. So you feel like you're connected, even though you're really separated. And I think it's going to be like that for a while until we get vaccines in place. But at least we can see light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's an exciting thing, to be able to know that it's just a matter of time, and we're going to get there, and we're all going to take this one day at a time. We just have to survive between then and now.
Janet, let the audience know how much that costs for you to put in all those guidelines.
Well, we spent over $20,000 retrofitting the Visual Arts Center. Wow. With everything that we need to be safe. We put in an automatic door opener so that you can push the door with your elbow and it opens and you can carry your items in. We actually are pretty firm here. We do temperature checks as you walk in. We require masks. We record everyone who comes in the door. So if there's a need for contact tracing, we can do so. We can let them know that something happened while they were here, and they are at least prepared. We're really running almost two operations. You're running your regular operation, plus you're running everything online, and you're doing all of these new things, and you're doing it on a budget that is about a quarter of what it used to be. So it's really challenging, but we're come to work every day optimistic, and we know that this is going to pass, and we'll all be able to gather again together. And we're looking forward to that day, as I'm sure you are too.
Well, and Janet, with this pivots that all of us have to do, the stress was hard enough before, and this is one of the things, even with Steve, with you guys actually having to pivot, the stress and on you, the toll that it takes on you, because it's hard enough to be an executive director of an organization, but to actually have to pivot and do all these other things, I can't imagine how when you go home at night, you just sit back and go, is this worth it?
Well, I'm very fortunate, Marie, because I have a fabulous team here, and we work very hard to keep each other's spirits up every day. Try to have a good time while we're struggling, and so this is a place still of fun and laughter.
Well, does Stacy want to come back up? Because I don't have a visual or anything.
I don't know where she is. So you talk to Steve for a minute, and I'll find out.
Okay. So
for us, Marie, the pivot was hard. We did so much outreach for the community. A lot of people were wondering where the things were, but meeting with a family last week that we'd helped in the past, the things that we do are for a reason, to be able to do a little thing in somebody's life and make a big change, not only for the individual, but for the family unit. Those are the things that wake me up and keep me going in the morning. And, I now have the opportunity to bring a program that I've been passionate about to the community, and I know has been needed for the community for a while. So even though our isolation and having to slow down and relearn all these different things has been a challenge, it's given us an opportunity to really rethink our impact. And ever since I've let the community know where we're going with this, I've had nothing but positive response, and we've already got several other organizations that we're looking to collaborate with, because just like anything we've done, we know it's not a one person or a one organization solution. We know it takes an army, it takes a village to raise the children, and we're excited to see how that's going to come forth and be able to be a positive, not only for the short term, but for years and years to come.
Well, and I want to talk about volunteers, because most organizations are really dependent on volunteers. How is that going for you guys, Janet and Stacy?
Well, we have tried to protect our volunteers during this. As you can imagine, we have a considerable number of members that are truly in that we need to be careful phase. And so we've tried to do it without engaging them as much as normal, but we have a few that come every day and help us. The Visual Arts Center typically operates with about 200 volunteers. So if you can imagine, we're now operating with about 10. Although this weekend we'll have about 20 helping us out at Peace River National Arts Festival. So again, very important that we get to re-engage with them. So yes, Marie, you're right. The volunteers are the lifeblood of our area and our facility, and we can't wait to have them back.
And volunteers to me are priceless, because if we ever had to take the skills that they have and pay somebody to do those skills, we could never even be in business for anything.
I did the math, Marie, because we had a bunch of us that when the earthquakes came about at the beginning of the year, we did the Operation Hope for Puerto Rico. We filled a container full of donations, and we're able to bring it down to the epicenter. And I did the math at a fraction of the hours that we were actually working, and that volunteer time was worth over $40,000 for just 8 of us for being down there, according to what the government prices at. So then, when I think about the amount of volunteers we've had in the past, like years past for Thanksgiving, when you're looking at 350, 400 volunteers and the amount of hours, and it's just astronomical. And, that's really what amazes me about this community is they really want to be part of and give back, whether it's with their treasures or their time or their talent. And to be able to facilitate that is a blessing. And that's some of the special things that keep us motivated here on our end to bring things in that we know are needed for the community.
Well, I want to talk to our audience right now. If you're out there listening to us, let us know that, because you can put it in the comments on the KDW radio or the Giving Tuesday Southwest Florida, or even on the YouTube stream going on right now, and I can bring it on the screen and we can respond to you. So thank you, everybody, because I know there's a lot of people out there listening. I can tell by numbers that show up on my screen. So let's go back to this talk about everything. Stacy.
Yes.
You're in business development. Now, that means that you're doing fundraising, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what kind of a challenge are you having this year?
Well, obviously, nonprofits across the world, really, but especially here, local ones, are trying to reinvent how to reach out to their supporters, whether they're business supporters or private supporters, because we're not having sit-down dinners, we're not having galas, we're not having wine tastings and receptions. So there's a lot of learning going on about how to do an online event, and how to do Zoom classes and sip and paints via Zoom and things like that. So we've had to come up with some different ideas. And also, we at the Visual Arts Center have always had a huge success with tried and true, send somebody something in the mail. And, just going back to an old-fashioned letter campaign is not a bad thing. I mean, people are at home, so they're getting their mail.
Well, and that's another thing too that people can do right now. When was the last time that you sent out a Christmas card to somebody that you, not taking the time, or you kind of lost contact with? We have social media, but what does it mean for you to get a handwritten note from somebody in today's world? A lot of you out there may have a little bit more time on your hands, even if you're binge watching on Netflix. You can actually, and truthfully, and I'm going to say this out here, I'm not a TV watcher. I have never watched so much TV in my life and seen every series that people recommend. And I go, oh, let me see if I like that. I've never had the time. I'd be up till 2, 3 in the morning working on projects. And now I'm just pausing and really taking a look at what's important in life, and family is. Family and friends. And also, this Thanksgiving, many of the stores were closed. right?
Yes,
that was great.
It was really nice, actually.
It was
Yeah, we
really
took a long weekend and did all of the days closed.
We shut down on Thursday and at 4, and we didn't open until Monday morning. It was really nice to have that weekend, be able to spend time with family.
When I worked for Kmart, we were the first ones nationally to ever open on Thanksgiving, and we were all just freaking out, with the systems, because we would have to do that. And then everybody followed suit. You know what? It became where it's more about the money, and our parents would save up. My parents didn't have a car. Well, as long as I can remember, they had one. But my mom said when they were first married, they didn't have a car. They took the city bus to go places, or they walked. If you wanted a washer, you saved up the money. You didn't go put it on a credit card and then get that interest rate with it. So do we need all these things? I'm purging my house right now. Do I need do I need the display units with all my teapots? Well, my teapots I can't hurt. But you know what I'm saying. And Janet, you've moved a few times in your life. Have you accumulated or got rid of stuff? And same thing with you, Stacy, and same thing with Steve. How do we get all this stuff?
Well, every time I move, I clear it out, and I try to get either new or just take the things I absolutely love, and so I don't have a lot of clutter. When I moved here to Punta Gorda, I became very uncluttered, so it's really very nice.
That is nice. So how about you, Stacy? Because I know you travel the world.
Well, I'm overly sentimental, and the end line of a couple different parts of my family. So I end up with a fair amount of all the trinkets, especially dishes or things that belong to some of the female members in my family. So my cupboards are very full. My goal is if you can shut them and hide the mess, it's okay.
Stacy just expanded her house so she'd have more room.
Yeah.
To put things in.
We built a 2.5 stall garage with an extra room after Hurricane Charlie hit. We were in the process of building that, and it's full. It is full. I actually had one of the groups locally come and take 2/3 of it, and it's full again. So I'm just trying to purge out of my life. So in case anybody sees me listing stuff on these marketplace places, that's because I'm purging my life.
Well, I'm a lot like you, Marie. I love costumes and dressing up, and so my kids always laugh because they'll say, "Oh, tomorrow we need to do this at school," and I'll say, "Wait, I've got that in the garage."
And I brought different hats for every hour today.
Oh,
Good for you.
I didn't even have to go in my garage yet because I have boxes and boxes of hats. Yeah, so those are the things. And I know people aren't listening in to hear about me. So we're here about you, and we're here about Giving Tuesday.
I am an advocate for purging. I have the pleasure of traveling out of state to clean up an estate that has been collecting collectibles since the 1960s. So one of the things that I'm trying to do with my family there is to make sure anything that's able to be donated and to be able to profit local nonprofits is going to be able to be passed on for that. But after dealing with a couple of states, you come home and you're like, I don't want to leave that mess for somebody else to go through. But
well, that's one of the reasons I'm doing it now, because I'm getting older and I don't want my kids to have to clean it up.
Right.
Because I know my husband won't, in case I go before him.
well, with the holidays coming up, all of the people that are visiting, if they choose to visit family in Southwest Florida, they can share an experience instead of just an item, and they can come to the Visual Arts Center.
There you go.
The doors will be open, and it's free and open to the public.
And we're doing, if you have a group of people coming, we're doing special events just for that group so that you're not necessarily mixing with others. We have a family of 15 coming to do some painting, and they'll all be together. And that's a nice, safe way to have that experience. One more thing we're doing that I forgot to mention. we're going to be having specials on Facebook every day beginning December 11th for the 12 days of Christmas. Some cases we're giving things away. Some cases things are half price. Sometimes it's something very special. You got to watch the elf on the shelf because it moves all around the Visual Arts Center. So you have to turn in every day to see what that special is. And you can either get it delivered to your home or you can come into the Visual Arts Center, which we hope you will do.
That was a question I wanted to ask you guys. Do you guys deliver to? Can you be my one-stop shop? Can I come in, pick up?
We can put it in the mail. You just can't do it on Christmas Eve, Steve. You got to give it a couple days to get it in the mail.
Well, so if I want to get a local artist painting or pottery or thing of that sort, you guys can handle the shipping to out-of-state family members as well?
We can do that. In fact, for all of our exhibits, you can actually go online, and it's like a walking tour. You actually move your mouse, you turn to the wall, you look at the item, and then you decide if you want to buy it. And if you can buy it right online. And yes, we will get it to wherever it needs to go.
Awesome.
And here's your information again up on screen. I need to take that little banner thing off there. So where would I go, Janet? How can I do all of this?
visualartcenter.org. Very easy. Go there. Everything is on the website. Nice and easy.
And you know why you can do that?
Why? Because experiences are priceless. Yes, they are. Memories.
You're such a wordsmith.
You know, I'm the business person here. There are a lot of artists. Stacy's a wonderful artist, and most of the people here are artists, but I am not. But the other day we did some glass etching, and even I could do that. And so I have these beautiful champagne glasses with red stems, and I created my own individual set for all of my family. So at Christmas time, we can toast champagne in their own personal glasses. Do you know how much fun that was? And of course, that's a memory that's going to last forever when I hand it to someone with their name on it and a Christmas tree or a poinsettia or a stocking or whatever designs I creatively came up with that day. It was lots of fun, and it can be fun for everybody.
And those are priceless gifts that you cannot, those are personal. You can't get that anyplace else. It's a personal gift. I'm looking at our time here. Oh, we have a few minutes because I have some of our next guests for the next hour popping in, but we're giving you. That's the beauty of this. Nobody has to get off stage. You know how we always had to shift people and move people around? With this formatting, we were able to come into your Visual Arts Center, see what you have. You can talk about it, but we're such a visual society. I'm sorry. We just are that visual society that in today's world, I thought I had turned this down. I'm getting calls, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn my phone.
You're a popular lady today, Marie.
Well, people, we have a lot of people may have questions, and I sent out emails and said, you have to text me or call the radio station. Yeah, I'm on air all the time. So are there any words of wisdom for everybody? Because let me tell you, if you were to get me a gift ever, not that I'm asking anybody to, because I really don't want anything right now, I would appreciate, and I'm sure somebody in your life would appreciate something from the visual arts. And if you have another way of giving, because a lot of us are retired in this area, especially Punta Gorda where you guys are at, the average age is over 60. Many of them are retired and on an income that isn't affected as much unless they're investors in the market, and that's going pretty good right now, that they have the same income that they had before the pandemic. So if you have that opportunity in your heart to find your favorite nonprofit out there, whether it's the Visual Arts Center, Hope for Northport, we're KDW Radio. You can find us on Facebook, but we're also known as Community Broadband Radio Association. Giving Tuesday Southwest Florida is part of the Giving Tuesday movement. It's a movement. It is not like they're run as a nonprofit, but It's a movement with around the world. And there's a lot happening around the world today. It's not just here in Southwest Florida. It's not here just in the US. It's in over 70 countries today, spreading goodwill. It's kind of like the Christmas of the world, where we're trying to do good things all in one day, you know, and to make people feel better and to say thank you. And always, always be kind.
I like that.
So thank you guys all for coming on with us.
Thanks, Marie.
Thank you, Marie. And I
Thank
wish everybody a happy holiday.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Happy
Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah,
Yes.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and it all.
all of the above.
All of the above, whether it's socially
Stay
correct.
hydrated, Marie. It's a long haul here today, so.
Well, Steve, I'm going to keep you on with me a minute as I'm
Okay.
bringing in these other people. And Janet, Stacy, you have a wonderful holiday. And I really hope, really pray that the arts survive, because there is a prediction that 25% of the nonprofits in the art will not survive.
Yeah.
So thank you. I think you guys are doing what it takes, but if you have it in your heart today, I know that there's a lot of people out there hurting, but the arts is one that's really taken the worst hit of, I think, most of them, for people even stopping to go to plays or anything like that, because they need the social distancing there.
That's
Have
right.
a great day, guys.
Thank
See
you so much. Bye.
guys.
Bye. Well, Steve, how was that?
Marie,
Yes.
that's great.
What is-
Now I know it's free to go in. I can take my wife next time I go down to the Fisherman's Village, since she hasn't been in there.
Well, did you think you had to pay to go there?
I thought, yeah. You know, I went there when I was going for a training when I worked in the school district. I was there for a training on how to use art to work with kids with disabilities. So I was just taking in all the wonders that they had going on in the Visual Arts Center. It's a beautiful building.
It really is. And I
Yeah.
do a historic trolley tour, and I talk about it, but
Yeah.
that isn't what Giving Tuesday's about.
Usually I try to, yank my wife on the free Ringling days up to Sarasota, but, just to be able to see the art that's right here in the backyard, knowing that we can come and support the local artists is huge.
And all the art centers have they change out their art, I think once a month. So,
right.
as for going along here, Steve, I
Yeah.
have people showing up in the studio, and I want to keep you on just to help me a little bit with the hosting.
Okay. For how long? I got a lunch meeting in 25 minutes. I can
No,
give you 10, 15 minutes.
No, I just need you just for a few minutes. And
Okay.
you know what? I want to talk before I bring them up on stage and here. I want to talk about Steve, because Steve's always had my back for Giving Tuesday. He's learned you were able to raise a lot of money for some of the projects that you've done. And I
Yes.
want you to talk to the audience real quick about utilizing social media, because social media is a great tool.
Yeah, at first it was that big bad monster that nobody wanted to open the door and peek in and see. But all the tools that you were able to have access to and resources, and peel back all of the different things. It's not as hard as everybody thinks it is. You just have to do your research and spend some time. We're able to. It's great for a smaller nonprofit like us, because it doesn't cost us anything but our time and our efforts to get the word out there. We don't have a big advertising budget, so we're not out there doing the main mailers all the time. But being able to tap into some of the professional free resources that you were able to give me the last few years was great, because it just took us to the next level. We were really literally grassroots. We were word of mouth and hand somebody a little flyer type thing. And then we've been able to expand our catch on social media exponentially. And, we're praying and hoping that it takes the next level as we're going into 2021, because as we start to launch a program that's going to be 5 days a week, we're going to be able to track not only the impact in the students, but the impact in the families. And our goal is really to create those types of families that can be able to share the program with others, so as well as the resources that we bring to them. Just as you have brought resources to me, I've found myself turning around as I meet other nonprofits and saying, hey, it's real easy. Here's some links. Here's some resources that have worked for us, whether it's the Canva, knowing of the things like the Canva or the MailChimp or the.
Do you use Gively?
We have not because we're on the back door with some other stuff already.
And you don't do a fundraiser, Give Lively's for more of the fundraiser. Well, I'm going to bring up our next guest. I see everybody in the background and they're trying to jostle around their cameras and everything. That's why I was having you talk. It's actually funny to watch people. I'm going to bring up our next guest here. This is Joan Leonard from the Community Liaison for the SunCoast Blood Bank. Hi.
Hi, Marie and Steve. Welcome to SunCoast Blood Centers. We're lucky to have you today.
Well, and we're lucky to have you, and we're going to say goodbye to Steve because he's off there off to lunch.
Thanks, RJ. Everybody, enjoy your time. Thank you for everything you've done, Marie, and your team. Okay, have a great day.
And happy Giving Tuesday to you. So, hi, ladies, and I'm so glad to have you with us today. Now, the way that we're working this, and I know I went over this with a few people, and we've done a tour with Joan. We did a testing with her. What we'll do is just do an interview with each one of you guys, and we'll, both of you, I believe, are taking us on tour of your building, and we'll have you do the tour, and at the end we'll do a roundtable discussion of all the pivots that everybody has to do. So, Joan, we're going to have you from the Community Liaison for this SunCoast Blood Center, and I will bring you up on screen. Everybody's going to stay on screen right now, but I'm going to do this with Joan. And Joan, take it away. Explain to everybody who you are. Welcome here to Giving Tuesday, Southwest Florida, live.
Thanks, Marie. We're so happy to be here. Hello, Southwest Florida. Welcome to our SunCoast Blood Centers headquarters here in Lakewood Ranch. We have a special guest today that came in to donate blood just for you. Come on over here, follow me. Look who we have. This is Blood Buddy, and Blood Buddy is going to help take a tour of our new blood center. So follow me. The first thing you do when you donate blood is you're going to register with our lovely registration lady, Rose, who hopefully is booking an appointment right now.
Schedule an appointment for 11 o'clock today.
When someone donates blood, they have to come in to our screening room right here, and you get a wellness check. We check your blood pressure, your pulse, and somebody who was here last has a very good blood pressure and pulse. We take your temperature. You have to answer a series of questions. After your donation, you will get all of this information in our donor portal on our website, and you'll also get your cholesterol screening. And now through the end of the year, and it may be extended, we are also testing for COVID-19 antibodies to see if you're eligible to help those that are suffering in our hospitals with the convalescent plasma. And I'll tell you more about that as we go forward. So follow me. And my good friend, Blood Buddy. Excuse our bad side. We're going to come right over here. There we go. So this is our donor room, and we have some wonderful donors in right now donating the 3 products that we look for most: whole red blood cells, platelets, which help with cancer patients. About 50% of our blood products here at SunCoast Blood Centers go to help cancer patients. One of those patients is right here on the wall. This is Carissa. Carissa suffered from breast cancer a few years back. And the best part about Carissa, she was here 2 weeks ago donating blood for others to help them through their illnesses and get them better. Oh, it's Marie again. There I am. Come on this way. We're going to ask a few questions of one of our phlebotomists. This is Sandy. Sandy's getting ready to collect some blood from our lovely donor here. That's right. And Sandy, I've got 3 questions for you. How old do you have to be to donate blood?
You have to be 16 years old with a parental consent. And if you have that, you have to have that every time. Or if you're 17, you only need a picture ID. But 16, you got to have mom or dad come sign for you.
Perfect. And what's the age limit on donating blood?
We have no age limit in the state of Florida. So if you're in good health and you want to come in and help out and save some lives, you can be 90 or 100 years old if you want.
Very good. So if your heart is beating, we'd like to see you. One more question, Sandy. What is it like for a first-time donor?
Well, I feel, and what I have seen over the years of working here, they are so excited to do such an adult thing in their life, to go out and save somebody's life. That's their way that they can help out and give back, and it makes them feel very special that they know, oh, I donated blood, I could save somebody's life. And it is a very adult thing that, you know, kids like it. You feel very good about it, knowing that you did something in life to help out somebody and help somebody's family out.
Very good. Thank you. Carry on.
Bye.
We're going to take a further tour. Follow me, Giselle.
And he's a
And Blood Buddy, you can stay right here.
Very first time platelet donor today.
Oh, platelets. Platelet donor, and you're young. I can tell that with your eyes. Do you mind me asking how old you are? And why are you here donating platelets? Platelets take 2 hours to donate. Oh, awesome, because he wanted to. So a lifesaver here. I know somebody that used a whole lot of platelets, over 300 units of platelets to save her life. So I want to introduce you to her. Follow me.
Okay, as you're walking around there, look at who do we have?
This is Hannah. Hannah is a young lady. She's a senior in high school at Booker High. When she was 5 years old, she had a very rare blood disorder. She needed blood products for a whole year until she got her bone marrow transplant. Once she got her transplant, she's healthy, and the coolest part, she comes in and she not only donates her blood back to us, but she also donates her time. So on Giving Tuesday, it's folks like Hannah that give time, they give their blood products, and Hannah is a big part of our fundraising effort. So we're out to look for 3 different kinds of donors today. We need blood donors. We always need blood donors. We need financial support. We are a nonprofit, and I'll show you something that support will go to in a minute. And then we also need volunteers. Speaking of volunteers, let's go meet some volunteers.
As she's walking us through the door, is it hard to get the mascot through the door?
She's coming. She's coming right behind us. And we're going to meet her now that we're in the volunteer area. So this area here is where our volunteers come in and do all kinds of different activities, from addressing envelopes, putting stamps on envelopes, doing computer work, making phone calls to our donors, writing thank you notes to our donors, and everything else. One of our super volunteers is Corinne, who we are going to unveil right now.
Oh,
This is Corinne. She was our volunteer of the year last year because in 2 years' time, she did 1,000 hours of volunteering with us. We all love the inspiration Corinne provides for us. So
How
let's
hot is
take
it
you.
under that costume?
How hot?
yeah, I
Very
was thinking the same thing. Very hot.
Okay, thanks, Corinne.
Lori, that was my same thought. How hot are those costumes to be
Well,
in?
we're inside the building today. When we're outside and it's 95 degrees and 100% humidity, it gets very warm in there. I'm going to take you to our very special lab area here at the Blood Center.
And as she's walking through,
As I'm walking, a lot of people look at us. We have 5 locations on the SunCoast. We're at Bird Bay Plaza in Venice. We're at Bayshore Gardens in Bradenton, here in Lakewood Ranch. We just opened a new branch in Port Charlotte next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market and Mound Street, downtown Sarasota. We have 8 buses. We have 3 concierge buses, which is our new program that is a highlight and something good that happened with COVID. When we realized people weren't coming to us, we needed to come to them. So our local community foundations chipped in, helped us to purchase 3 vehicles that we now go right to people's homes to collect blood. So if you're abiding by the rules and trying to stay home and away from people, it's a one-on-one concierge service. We pull right into your driveway. It's great when we have a husband and wife or a father and son, mother and daughter, 2 people from one household donate. But if you're by yourself, that's great too. So think about our concierge program, and that's all on our website. But follow me this way. This is our collection from yesterday.
and as she's walking, we do have the circus people showing up below, so I'll be bringing them up too. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's our collection from yesterday, and it will be tested overnight. And again, we test for cholesterol, so you get your wellness screening. We're testing for the antibodies for the convalescent plasma. Anybody that has had COVID-19 and now is healthy and testing negative for the virus, you can come in and donate the convalescent plasma every 2 weeks. We are shipping more plasma to patients in hospitals than we are collecting. So if you know anyone, if you have a neighbor, a relative, teenagers coming home for the holidays from college that may have been infected in Gainesville or Tallahassee, we have a special program right now with an Amazon card. Those people donating that plasma will get a $50 Amazon card, and they can do it every 2 weeks. So encourage those to help save others. Come on this way.
As she's walking around too, because we're on radio, we can't have dead air. So okay.
Then you keep talking, Marie. I got one more place to show you.
Okay.
Everybody on the southwest coast of Florida today woke up to something we haven't woken up to in a long time: cold air. But here at SunCoast Blood Centers, we feel cold air every day because we have a freezer that will hold the plasma here, and plasma donations can last for up to 1 year. So it's gonna be the last part of the tour. We're gonna go into the freezer.
And as she's walking there, and Father Jerry and Gina, I do see you down below, and I'll bring you up on screen as soon as she's done with her tour.
So if we can take a look, I don't know if Giselle can get the camera. It's -17 below. And this is our freezer. Quickly, because the camera will freeze.
Wow.
That's the convalescent plasma. That's liquid gold. One last thing that I passed by right here, and it was kind of a reminder. 2 weeks ago, we were awarded to serve the military. So every 3 weeks going forward for the next 18 months, we will be sending 60 units of blood and plasma starting off to Texas, and then they will fly it on a military jet to Iraq, to the military hospital in Iraq. So
Wow.
for those of you that came from parents that may have served, like my dad, who was in World War II, and you want to honor your father or mother, come out and donate as part of the military collection. Those of you that might have children serving right now and you miss them terribly, come and help us supply the product they need for the military in Iraq. Anybody that is of an age that maybe going into the military wasn't an option for you for some reason, come out and serve your country by donating blood that will be directly shipped to the hospital in Iraq. I think that's enough for me today. I'm looking forward to hearing from your other guests because I'm connected to both the players and Circus in some way in my past careers here in Sarasota.
She is. So as she's leaving, she's going to be sitting at another location. So I'm taking Joan off air, and I'm going to bring up our other guests here while she's doing that. And in fact, I'll put me like this. We have Gina. Hi, Gina.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you fine. And then Father Jerry is coming up, and there was a Circus and Traveling Shows Retirement Project. I'm glad that you're able to make it here today. I didn't do a test with Father Jerry, so you're looking fine there, Father Jerry. And as before we even get into talk just a little bit about what you guys do, and we'll go into your history. But I want to get the Charlotte players on because they're taking us on tour. All three of you today are taking us on tour, and this is exciting because for Giving Tuesday, Southwest Florida, and with the technology today, we're able to not having people just talk about their locations. We're able to talk to people with a visual to show what you're doing and what the good work that you do out there and how important it is on all year long. But during these precedented times, like the Charlotte players, very difficult to even have the income coming in. The arts are getting hit so hard because you can't do a lot of things in person, or if you do, it only has to be at 25% or so. So go ahead, and Sherry Moody and Lori Wagner, take it away.
Hello, everyone.
Well, Marie, thank you for noting the difficulties we are having right now with presenting theater production. We are trying to assure our patrons that we are taking all sorts of safety measures. And as we take our tour, we're going to show you some of the things that we're doing. But we are coming to you live this morning from not only the Charlotte Players Business Office, but the Langdon Playhouse. And I have to applaud Marie for all that she has done for the Charlotte Players. We purchased this building in the industrial park just north of the mall in Port Charlotte, and back in 2010. And with a whole lot of help from Marie LaBrosse, our wonderful host today, we were able to move into this building, and great things have happened over the last 10 years. Up until now, up until this pandemic. But I do want to recognize Marie for all the work that she did. She brought in hundreds of volunteers to not only move the Charlotte Players from our previous location, but make this building suitable for what our wonderful plans were for the future. Marie,
You only get one shot, Sherry, when you do that. And we use Disney's. I got to applaud Disney. They had Disney Get a Day, Give a Disney Day. And without that, I don't know if we would have got the volunteers. We had volunteers from Naples all the way up to Tampa that came in with trucks and families. We were one of the few that would allow 5 years old and up, so a whole family could have a day in Disney. And that was because of Disney having that program. We had over 350 volunteers that did that move at that time. And when you do a move like that, you get one chance to clean a building and get it prepared, because I don't know if the players would have ever done that later on.
No, we look back and think, how on earth did that ever happen? It was a huge project. We even had business people that lent us huge trucks to store things, because we only had use of the building, half of the building, and it's about 8,000 square feet. And we had use of it initially, only half of it. So we had a whole lot to store and figure out where we were going to put it. And it's wonderful to look back at the before and after pictures, because it truly has made a transformation.
Well, and I have to give kudos to you, Sherry, because you have vision. And as you take us on tour, you can talk about the different hiccups and steps that had to be taken and how that all worked together, because the community came together to make it all happen.
That's right. The Charlotte Players, not only do we have performance as part of our programming, but we do have a wonderful program that I'm going to let Lori tell you a little about. That is the Charlotte County Imagination Library, which is part of the Dolly Parton literacy program for preschool children. And in the meantime, I'm going to try and figure out how to flip this camera.
My name is Lori. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator with Charlotte Players, and I have been helping with a fundraiser that Charlotte County Imagination Library is in the middle of right now. Dolly Parton created the Dolly Parton Imagination Library in 1995, and it provides books to children from birth up until the age of 5 at no cost to the family. Sean Gilstad, who is the owner of the Purple House in Punta Gorda, the salon, he paired up with Sherry Moody back in 2011 to start the Charlotte County affiliate of the Imagination Library. Since 2011, Charlotte County has given out over 105,000 books to children in this county right here. And there's a fundraiser going on. It began on November 23rd. It ends on December 13th, and we're raising money to provide even more books to children. And everyone is in for a treat on December 9th as Dolly Parton is releasing her film, The Library That Dolly Built, on Facebook at no cost to everyone. If you just come onto our page, Charlotte County Imagination Library Facebook page, December 9th at 7 p.m., you will be able to see a documentary that includes just where the library started and how it has grown through the years and how it is now in 5 other countries besides the United States. It is a wonderful foundation, and we're so glad to be a part of it. If you go onto our Charlotte County Imagination Library Facebook page, you can make a donation, and that would really help us. $25 will be able to provide 12 books, which is 1 book a month for a whole year. If you are so kind to donate $125, that will provide books for 5 years, which is 60 books for children. I don't know about you, but when I was a child, I loved books. I got the highlights book. I'm not sure what age I was, but I remember getting that in the mail, and I was tickled pink to get something made out to me, and that came in the mailbox. That was just a wonderful thing, and I know children these days, they still appreciate that decades later.
Well, Lori, when you're talking about that, you have to register, though. When a child is born, you actually have to go, and every county, not every county has one, but I know Sarasota County has one, and it's actually run through their library system. The one in Charlotte County is run by the Charlotte Players. It was one of the tasks that Sherry did take on for the Charlotte, and I shouldn't say task, it was a love of reading and helping out children in that. And because of the partnership, you're the base for the 501c3 nonprofit for the Charlotte County Imagination Library. And that is such a special gift because it touches so many lives. I remember when children get their first books from the Imagination Library, they're overwhelmed. It's like them looking for that gift every month. And what wonderful gift can you give somebody is a gift of reading. And I see Sherry is still having problems getting her camera turned around. She might have to come to you, Lori. Oh, there you go, Sherry. I think it's turned around. Sherry, I think you got your camera turned around now, so you can take us on tour.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
You're
you're
not
turned
going to
around.
see me. You're not going to
That's
see me,
okay.
but you're just
That's
going to
okay.
see where
You're
I'm
gonna
going. All right.
go ahead and take us on tour. Yeah, we're seeing what you see.
All right. Well, that's fabulous. Well, this is actually our lobby here at the Charlotte Players, and this is how our customers walk in. Dana, give us a wave hi. Dana is working in our box office this morning, but we're going to take you through. Hi, here comes Lori. We were staying far apart, so we didn't have any cameras over here.
Contact, yeah.
She's going to try and point this in the right direction, so we'll see how well we're doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, you see our wall here. Here's all the different shows, and we're seeing Lori's thumbs.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, we are.
That's all right. Well, come on, follow me. We're going to go ahead and go through the office. This is the way a customer would normally come in, and we have one of our board members who's scooting away. Hi, Glenn. How are you? Glenn Wright. Well, this is, as you can see, this is a working space. So we have our offices, our other assistant, Melissa Cripps is in the background. And as we head through the building, one of those many improvements that we made is we created 3 new bathrooms. And to our patrons, that's very important. We're going to head back into the rehearsal hall. This is the space.
Yeah, we're not picking up her sound real loud. And I turned it up as loud as I can on my end. It could be that she's a little bit farther away. Go ahead, and you guys are freezing up, but that's okay. We're getting the shots. So it's kind of like a freeze frame moving forward. So go ahead. Oh, Chris. Hi, Chris. Okay, hi, Chris. Can you hear us, Chris? Chris Smith. And I think their volume is not on at all if they're trying to talk. So as you guys are walking around, I actually know the Charlotte Players a little bit. Chris Smith is their set designer there. What we're looking at is their set room until they can get their volume taken care of. Sherry, can you talk? Yeah, your volume's all the way down now. I think she's way.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. It's going on. That's the technology people of today. And we didn't do a test with them to do a walkthrough. So
can you hear us now, Marie?
No, yeah, we can hear you now. We see Lori's finger again, but that's
okay. All right, we're going to show you where a lot of the wonderful work is done. Lori's going to show you around to our shop area.
Sherry, can you stand by the phone closer because it's not picking up your voice real well?
Yeah, I'm like right on top of Lori's hand.
Okay, it's not coming through real well, but as you're walking through, what you could, okay, because Lori, one of you guys can walk with a phone and talk on the computer, and that while they're going through.
I was going to say, we're actually using an iPad because of clarity. It always be a little better.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
This is where our scenic designers do all of their wonderful work.
Okay, I'm muting you because you're not coming through real loud right now. And with them doing that because of being on the radio and that, as they're walking through, I can probably explain to it and see if they can get their volume taken care of. As Sherry's walking through, it looks like she's going toward the back door of the set, and she's walking through into the area where patrons come into, and it's a waiting room type. Yeah, I'm trying to, and then this is a Langdon Playhouse, and boy, do they have a nice Christmas tree up there. The Langdon Playhouse was put together I'm thinking 2016, yeah, because we were able to get the seats in here from the Methodist Murdoch Baptist Church that they were getting rid of stuff, and they actually offered for a price, but they offered us a very reasonable price there. If you look, I think there's 113, not 113, 100 and some seats in there that'll seat. And as you look, they have lighting, and I know that there's a lot of things. The place is air conditioned. Originally, this place was a car dealership and a plumbing shop, and it's in the industrial park on Murdoch Circle in Charlotte County. When you go down the highway, it'll be on your right in the industrial park. And this is a Langdon playhouse named after a philanthropist that left some of her estate to the Charlotte Players, and they named the playhouse after her. And they do most of their plays. Actually, Sherry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and let's see if we can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear
No,
me
you're
now?
very.
Does it sound
No.
okay? Hey, Marie, can you hear me?
Very, very
All right,
soft.
listen.
So just keep on going around and I'll talk to people because I know about it. Italian stuff. As they're walking around, do you want to take us to the back set behind the scenes and the props and that, or to let people know? But the line that you're froze up too, so I'm going to take you guys off and we'll bring the next people up while you guys get back on screen. And as Sherry, because of technology there, it was freezing up on us. Okay, well, we're having the Charlotte Players come back online. I want to bring up our next guest, and our next guest will be the Circus and Traveling Show Retirement Project. And with us today, I actually have people, and make sure your mics are unmuted on your end. On some of you, I have to unmute them. In fact, we have somebody outside here too. And okay, so Father Jerry. Hi, good. I'm so
Hi,
sorry
how are you?
because when there's tech things going on and all of you are doing tours today. So I would like you to tell us, how did the circus and traveling shows retirement, what's the history behind it? And I know that Gina is going to take us on tour also. We hear you fine.
Great. Can you hear me? Very good. Back in the year 2000, centennial year, I was visiting Circus Sarasota, and they were over there, that year they were performing in front of the Van Wezel. Van Wezel wasn't working that year; they were redoing it. And I noticed two people who I recognized as former circus performers, and they had blankets on, and they were sitting on a bench. And I immediately figured, wow, they're homeless. So I talked to some friends of mine. We had two sisters on the road at that time, Sister Jo and Sister Priscilla. They knew them. I had recognized them a little. And then I talked to a friend of mine, Dale Riker, and his wife, Evelyn. And we got food for them and support. But we realized that there were other circus people who were homeless. And they have a lot of pride. They don't tell people. So we decided we have to do something about this need. The circus family is a strong community. They love to serve and perform, but they also don't make much money. So in the process, we started to raise money to find a place for retirement circus people. It took a long, long time. But eventually in 2015, we purchased a piece of property in Stefano, Florida. We call it Show People's Winter Quarters. And at that juncture, we started to raise a lot of money to buy the place and eventually have people move in. We have room for 10 trailers. We have a permanent house there where Lynn Flory and her husband are our managers. And then we have an executive director, Jasmine Eaglefoot, who controls the money and helps us support one another. Then in 2017, Ringling Brothers Barn and Bailey closed both traveling units. So they donated to us a train car, 93 feet long. And it was car 57. And it was in the show, they put it out in 1972. It had been a regular passenger's car. And we had to move it from Palmetto to Sefna. It was in August, and I was there. It was an adventure. It's August 23rd. I'll never forget it. We thought it was going to take 3 hours. Well, it took 8.5 hours. We had 3 blown tires trying to move it. It was hot, and it was difficult. But we finally got it to its place now of rest, shall we say. And we've been working on it ever since. And we just finished doing, with the help of Peggy Williams, raising a lot of money and doing a lot of work. We finally put a handicap ramp on it. A few weeks ago, we had a painting party. We were staining it. And a lot of farmer circus performers came and helped. And over the course of time, a lot of performers have come and helped us put it together. And it's very powerful. Gina will give you a tour of it. And we, like everyone else, are dealing with the crisis of trying to raise money. We understand in the Charlotte players, and especially the SunCoast Blood Center, they need it drastically also. But we are really fortunate to have a lot of faithful circus people, performers, people in the business who have donated and dedicated themselves to help us. So I think I'd hand it over to, Peggy Williams is right there. Peggy, do you want to say something? Hi, Peggy. Good to see you.
Hey, hi, Father Jerry. Hi,
Yeah.
Marie.
Hi, can we turn it over to Gina and have her take us on tour?
Absolutely. Let's look at it.
Okay, Gina, take us on tour of the grounds.
Okay. Let me know if I lose. My Wi-Fi is super sketchy, and let me know if I'm moving too fast or too slow here. I'm at the front. I'm at the front of the property. I don't remember how many acres it is. Father Jerry can tell us, but it's a really beautiful piece of property, tree lined the whole way, which makes for a beautiful piece of property. But we also have to maintain this every year. We have to maintain it to make sure that when we get hurricanes, we don't have problems here. The front here, we have a dog run, which is really awesome. And we have 5 Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus wagons that are used for storage. We have, like Father Jerry said, we have 1 home on the property for the management company, for the managers. And then we have the trailers that our circus and carnival families live in. And Peggy and Father Jerry, feel free to interject.
Okay.
Yeah, and what we're looking at there, because people come and live there during the winter, correct?
All year round.
Yeah, this is their retirement home.
Yeah, they stay home.
And the beauty of this property is that it's affordable living for retired circus and carnival and other traveling people, such as concessionaires and food vendors. So it's wonderful that this is available, because you know how high the seasonal rates are in Florida for trailer parking. That doesn't impact these people. They have a standard set of their rate for the whole year, and it's absolutely very affordable. So it's affordable housing, which is there's an extreme shortage of that for many classes, but certainly for those, for instance, who retired more quickly from the circus than they thought they would, because Ringling Brothers closed, and since COVID, all of the circuses pretty much have been off the road and waiting to have an audience again. So it's been a gift, a godsend in many ways for the people in the travel industry.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute Gina in the background because we're getting sketchy on it, but she's walking around, so you both know, you and Father both know where she's walking. Could you address that with us?
Sure. Right now, she's between the train and some of the trailers. Right now, she's walking towards them. We had some sisters on the show for many years. They traveled for 23 years, and their trailer's in the back. They've just come off the show, and that trailer back there will eventually go on. Father Frank Cancro is going to travel when Circus has come back. So his trailer and truck are right there. That's the back of Lynn's. Now, this is a very interesting house. This is, we used to call the meat house. The person who owned this piece of property had a lot of tigers and animals. And she was sort of eccentric in a lot of ways. And that was where they used to cut up the meat. But so it had these cement pads there. So her family sold it to us. And so it's now we're seeing the back of the area. And now you can see some of the trailers out front right there. Peggy, feel free to jump in anytime. And so you can see right around there. It is in mailboxes. It's a beautiful piece of property, and it's right off US 4, so it's very accessible to US 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, where is the property? Because you're up in Sefner for this piece of property.
Exit 10. You know the Cracker Barrel, when you're going towards Disney World, US 4, it's exit 10, the first exit off of 75. And on the left, you see the Cracker Barrel. It's on the right side. You take that right, and you head right into to first left, and you go by a high school, and it's right there on the left.
It's 1 block from the high school, and actually one of the families that resides at Show People's Winter Quarters has 2 children that go to schools in the local neighborhood, and they don't have to walk but a couple blocks to get to school. So it's a very normal, stable atmosphere. It's really wonderful. And when Gina was showing us the side of the train car, that train car, that rail car, came out of the Ringling Brothers fleet and was donated to Show People's Winter Quarters by Kenneth Feld. And we had tremendous support from other community partners as well. The Parish Rail Museum, you know, to put a train on a piece of property, you have to have a track bed to put it on. So there was gravel and railroad ties and rails that had to be installed. And some volunteers from the Parish Rail Museum came and did that for us. And you know, we paid for the supplies, but they provided the expertise and the labor. And you can see that that's where we eventually got it there after the flat tires on Highway 41 when we were driving the 40 miles with the train on dollies. The track bed was all ready to go when the train arrived there. So it is not a living place. It is a community center. So it was originally a coach car where people actually lived in their rooms, and then Trainmaster lived in that car for many years as well. It's got a full kitchen with a big oven, a super big refrigerator, a sink, running water, air conditioning, the whole 9 yards. So we have a tremendous asset there. And when the COVID is over, I am sure the residents there will be happy to get back in and use it for a game room, for watching movies together, especially when it starts raining again next year. The community center is a wonderful place. It has a heater, an air conditioner, and we had new floors put in. We had to replace some windows. So all the local vendors became part of our Sefner family as they contributed to upgrading the train car once it got there. So we're pretty happy about that. And now the handicap ramp, so everyone has full accessibility to do that. And our contractor even donated some extra wood from the ramp, and one of the residents there made a pitch and toss place that's near the dog park there, the Bark Park, and so the residents can pitch horseshoes too while they tell their stories of the industry.
Well, I wanted to get back to everybody that's here in that, because I'm going to have you on a separate show, because Peggy was a clown with a circus, and we'll have a lot of you on one of our separate shows. What is the greatest need for all of you today? I imagine money is some of it, but do you, with volunteers too, are you losing your volunteers?
Are you talking about for the Sefner project?
Well, for everything. I'm talking to this whole group here.
You were always looking for volunteers. You know, people come in and they help us, and we're always looking for people we have a great board of directors who help us, but we're always looking for different people to remind us how to do that.
Oh, that's your phone. Okay. As he's talking, because I can mute you on my end, and I'm trying to do that because I'm managing a group of people here. When you're talking about this with the needs that you need there at the circus, and I think that a lot of people, and I think I'm having a problem with somebody's mic. Okay, there. It was with the SunCoast Blood Bank. I was getting feedback. I'm sorry. When you're talking about all the different pivots that you've had to make this year because of COVID, and with the blood bank, I know when you took us on tour that there were issues, how the precautions. Now, the precautions have cost money to put in place.
Mhm.
And it's also cost a lot of you volunteers because volunteers don't want to come in right now. Am I correct with this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And any of you can address that issue. And also, I'm going to have to mute you guys on the SunCoast. I'm getting feedback from you. So when we're talking about this, like Lori, and I
Yes.
don't know where Sherry is, she can come in with you, but with the needs that you need at the Charlotte Players, one of the biggest things that maybe some of the volunteers, do you have volunteers coming in?
We do have volunteers coming in, but we do have a group that do not feel safe to go out at all, especially to come to something like a show. Although we are practicing safety measures and social distancing here, masks are required. We're taking temperatures upon arrival, but there's still quite a few volunteers that are just backed out of ushering for our shows right now. They'll be back, of course, when life gets better, but right now they're just very cautious. So we are always looking for volunteers.
And how about, yeah, I'm getting back to you here. How about with the circus places? Because people are, do you get a lot of volunteers there?
Well, we have a crew of volunteers that we've called on, and a lot of them are former circus performers. When we were doing our staining project of the ramp, the handicap ramp, just a couple weeks ago, 6 of the volunteers were all former clowns and performers from Ringling Brothers that we had worked with, and they'd worked on some other shows as well. But they came in to help out because the industry has taken such a hit. There's not a lot of places to perform. So they actually had some time to donate, and they loved it. And we all got together and shared stories, which is the whole point of the particular Sefner facility. It's so people can share their touring and road stories, so they're not strangers in a strange group, even though they're not all from the same show. And but some of the volunteers have taken up other jobs too, because they can't perform at the theme parks in Orlando or circuses on the road, because very few circuses are back out yet. They will be in the future. We're very happy to have them though, because they added so much. We had about 14 people, all with brushes in their hand and pots of stain, and talking about how things are everywhere because of the COVID pivots everyone's had to make, right? The masks. Who made the masks? A lot of the circus women who used to work in wardrobe, they're making masks, right? It's one of the things that has been happening all over the country. So you do what you need to, and the circus people are so resilient and charitable, quite charitable. They're used to doing things in communities as they would travel, and now they're not traveling. But yeah.
And that is happening. Now, what about the SunCoast Blood Bank? What are your pivots that you've got to do? And each one of you are unique on what you do out in the community. The circus is a whole different entertainment industry. The Charlotte Players does performing arts and works with kids in different programs in the Imagination Library. And the Blood Bank, you want my blood. and
You know what, Marie? All 3 organizations have something in common. It takes a community to run all three organizations and to participate. And it's so vital right now that people get involved and feel their self-worth by helping others, no matter what. If it's time, talent, or treasure, I'm sure all three of us can use it. Right now, we just, during the pandemic, we opened a new location in Port Charlotte. What we're looking for is some Port Charlotte volunteers that can drive up to our Lakewood Ranch facility to the lab with the blood that was collected that day. We have volunteer couriers. When the pandemic started, we had 19 couriers going from our locations to our lab and delivering product to hospitals. I thought once the pandemic hit, these 19 retired gentlemen would all say, oh, no, thank you. I don't want to be near a hospital. I lost 1 out of 19, and it was only because the community he lived in was on lockdown. He was 87 years old and driving 16 miles once a week for us, and just, he was wonderful. I think his heart was broken that he couldn't serve anymore. But I listened to everybody else's stories, and it is about community. It's helping one another. Your show, by displaying the different nonprofits, is awesome. And I hope we all can work together on this.
They're on mute.
Can't hear you, Marie.
Can't hear you.
You missed some really good stuff.
What? Well, tell us. Do tell.
It will come out over the radio because I'm mic'd in here. But one of the things is Giving Tuesday is about weaving community. And you are correct. It is actually about bringing your community together in all aspects, because without every piece of it, we don't have a community. You know, you just have your individual things. And real quick, I want you to talk about the blood bank, because I know that Peggy gives blood every 2 weeks, right, Peggy?
Every 2 months. Yep, every 2 months.
Every 2 months. I'm one, and I know Giselle, I had talked to her before. I'm one that was quarantined when I was a youth. I haven't been able to give blood, and I never came in to get it checked because it was we had talked about it and things were happening at that time. I'm willing to give blood. I have O positive. I think that's what you need, right?
It is what we need. I'm going to send our concierge bus down to see you right at the station. Okay, Marie?
Well, I'm only here for today, just to let everybody know out in the world out here, I never go any place except if I have to do some certain things. This is the first time I've been in the station since May. So I'm doing it for you today so we can be live on the air. And I wanted to be able to present to the world, all of you, in all different kinds of venues. You're on YouTube, you're on Facebook Live, you're on the radio, you're on the internet, you're on Alexa. You know, Alexa. I'm going to say this out loud in case anybody has it on their Facebook Live. Alexa, play WKDW 97.5 FM. Let's see how many people Alexa just play. Yeah, it's so funny. And you know what? Life, you know, the people that we've had to do this year, what is important? What did you find out? What were the lessons that you learned? How important are the people? How important are the volunteers? So what was the lesson that you found out, Lori? As she pauses, we're on radio. Or Pig.
I'm sorry, I forgot I muted myself.
Lori,
What I was starting to.
What are your lessons that you've learned through COVID, through the pandemic?
One of the lessons I have learned is as long as you can provide a safe environment, people will help.
Yeah, absolutely. And Peggy, you work for the Ringling Museum.
I do. I work in the archives at the Ringling Museum, and right now we're all working from home, and the Ringling Museum is open, but the archives is working from home because we can. we're doing a lot of digital work from our computers. So
and that's one of the pivots that I've learned, like even doing StreamYard here, that we're able to do a lot of this. And before we would bring you in for like 10 minutes a piece and you'd have to drive in that, you don't have to do that anymore. We can do this. You don't have to go anyplace. And we were able to come to your own location on Giving Tuesday. And you show us, because even if you're verbally saying it, if we can visually see what you're talking about, it's so much better. It is so much. And I'm able to see every one of you, and I can bring you together in a collaboration so you can talk to each other and find out that you may have some needs. And like you give blood, out there, Peggy, you're a blood giver, and they need blood. They need O positive. I'm O positive. I've never given blood in my life because of had yellow jaundice, and I think it's considered hepatitis. So we were quarantined, and my mom said that I had it, but I don't remember having it. But I was young, so what do I know? But when we're looking at all that, and Father, because of what you do, have done in life, the mental health on people right now, the stress, every one of you had a pivot, and with the stress that's built up, even bringing people to blood bank. I can't imagine how it's hard to get people to come in to give blood because they're afraid of being infected, correct?
Absolutely. I think the theme that I see is compassion. I've seen more compassion from other people. In this crisis, we're all in the same boat in a lot of ways. So people are reaching out. Now, we can't physically see each other all the time, but thank God for the telephone and the many people we can interconnect with. And when I've been speaking to people, I sense this ease of compassion, trying to build up. And a day like today is a day of compassion. We share the history of other people who are trying to service many, many people in this district and this world. And it's so important, I think, to reflect upon that and say, wow, people are good. They want to help. They want to give, maybe not financially, but for volunteers, whatever they can do, they try.
And what you can do, the best thing that you can do is be kind.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You've been listening to us on WKDW 97.5 FM. We are Giving Tuesday, Southwest Florida today from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. You can go to the Giving Tuesday SWFL Facebook page, KDWRadio.com Facebook page, and YouTube. WKDW 97.5 FM, and you can see us streaming, so you can physically see us in person if you're listening on the radio. And you can ask your Alexa if you want to get a really good signal. Alexa, play WKDW 97.5 FM. So, thank you guys for coming on today. And I want to remind people, I put it on the bottom of the page. If you go to the Giving Tuesday SWFL or the KDW Radio Facebook page, the schedule of everybody on today is listed there in the times that they'll be on. So one last thing, all of them do need money. Giving Tuesday isn't about money. It's about doing good things for even your neighbors or just being kind out there. But nonprofits really are asking for your help today. You can go to any of the nonprofits on most Facebook or on their websites. And if you go to the Giving Tuesday Southwest Florida, go to the photo album of the participating agents organizations today. It has all their information with their logo. It's up there with their picture. The information is there, or you can go to kdwradio.com/Giving Tuesday 2020, SWFL 2020. Click on there. All their logos are there. Click on the logo. You'll get to their website. Donate as much as you feel in your heart that you can today. if you can't donate of money, donate your time if you can volunteer, or if you can help them virtually, reach out to them, because I'm sure that they need help reaching out to other people, or even sending a letter or a note or do some mailing for them. So thank you, everybody. I think I have my next guest coming up, and the circus people, I have done the blood bank, and we've done the Charlotte Flares.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you, Marie.
You're welcome. And have a great and blessed Giving Tuesday.
Same to you.
Thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming on with us. And as I'm removing people from the streams here, I have my next guests showing up in our house. And they're down below as everybody's leaving the stream. And we will bring up our next hour guests. And I see Jennifer Bush. I think Jennifer's there. She was there. Oh, there you are, Jennifer. I can't hear you. And I have Jennifer Bush Ortiz, Bushinger Ortiz, right, Jennifer?
Hi.
Hi. And oh, I'm removing the wrong person. And she's with the Loveland Center. And let me see, she's having a mic problem, so we're going to adjust that on my end. Okay. And then we have Dee Dee go. Oh, she's having a problem there. Okay. And I saw other people. I don't have my glasses on. Jennifer, I'm having a mic problem with you. And then we have, okay. Hi, there's Dee Dee. Dee Dee Gozian is here with the Northport Arts Center. And then we have, I have to look at my notes. Michelle, could you say your last name, Michelle?
Actually, this is Mayu Fielding with Manatee Literacy.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Michelle should be on shortly, I hope.
She may be. So what I'm going to do is correct some of this. Dee Dee, you co-host with me sometimes. Talk about what's happening. Are you taking us on tour today? Because I see Claire there.
Claire's here and Mooney's here from the Art Center.
Okay, well, tell us about what you have going on at the Art Center right now. This is the Northport Art Center in Northport, Florida. And I think you're taking us on tour today, aren't you?
To walk around the Art Center? Of course, I can do that.
Okay.
Are we going to do that first?
No, go ahead and talk a little bit about the Northport Art Center. Now, Jennifer, do you have it set up for you to do tours too? Do you have it set up? You're muted. Okay.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now. She is muted
The
again.
confines of my office.
Say that again because you were muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Service is so inconsistent as I tour around, so that is my fear, that you're going to lose me the minute I start moving.
Like I did with other people this last hour.
Yes.
We did have some major challenges, and that's one of the challenges when you have a Wi-Fi signal and thing, and Jennifer's stuff is clicking as you're moving things, we hear that. So as Dee Dee, talk a little bit about what's happening at the Northport Art Center, because I have some tech things I got to take care of.
Okay. The Northport Art Center is participating in Giving Tuesday with a specific goal in mind. We had been having some art classes for the Northport and Port Charlotte Loveland participants, and we would like to have them on a frequent basis, on a weekly basis. And we needed to have some funds to be able to purchase the supplies and for the teachers that would be teaching the different types of mediums and the different classes. So we set up our Facebook donation button to be all about donating to make this program come alive. With us from the Art Center, we have Claire Harvey and Mooney Friedrich. Mooney had just done a class with Loveland participants today, and Claire had posted the pictures from that class and some videos onto the Northport Art Center Facebook page. And I would love anybody that has the opportunity to please go on and watch these videos and see these photographs, because they really do love the opportunity to come and have these classes. Mooney herself is such a delight, and she has connected with everybody and knows everybody's name and personalities and gears her teaching to them. And it actually inspired me whenever I saw her working with everybody, that I wish that we could do this all the time. It's such a fun class, a fun group of people. And I think that it really does say what our mission is. Our mission is to bring art and to have love of art to the whole community, to everybody that can participate. So I wanted Claire and Mooney to talk a little bit, and I will take you on a tour of the Art Center later on. And I don't know if I'll have connection the whole time, but I'll try. And then if you and Mooney can talk a little bit about your classes.
Well, before we go to that, I want to actually move to the Manatee Literacy Council, and I'll bring on Jennifer then, and then so we can go and do a tour, because some of the Loveland Center people are there, right?
No, they already
They're
left.
gone?
They left, but we took videos, and on our Facebook page, if you can even show that, Marie, we have the videos and the photographs from today's class on the
Okay,
Facebook.
I can text that in the background, because
Okay.
I can do that. And Jennifer's a good speaker too. Jennifer was in theater, so she knows how to do that. And theater, I'm talking New York theater, not just local. Yeah, she'll start laughing. So, Michelle, unmute yourself, unless I muted you. Let me see. Okay, you're unmuted there. And Mayu, I haven't met you yet. And I'm going to mute Edie because she's having a background problem. Go ahead and talk to us about the Manatee Literacy program that you have going on.
Hello, Marie, and hello to everybody. Thank you so much for having us. This is great to be here. I'm here with Mike Fielding, who is our board president extraordinaire, and she's also the educational coordinator for the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is a pretty good job. So she's joining us here today. Manatee Literacy Council is based in Manatee. Our mission is to help adults in our county learn to read and speak English, and work on all different kinds of literacy, digital literacy, math literacy, but mostly in terms of reading and speaking English, and helping everybody feel like a productive member of our community.
Well, tell us actually what Manatee Literacy Council is.
Well, we provide free English classes to people within the county, and sometimes people even without the county, but our major mission is here within the county. Mayu is great because she helps us so much. Mayu, do you want to talk about some of the stuff that you do with Manatee Literacy?
Muted. Hi. Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Marie, for inviting us to this show. Actually, it's very interesting. Manatee Literacy is a very small agency where the board is fully committed. So we only have one staff present here in our chat today, Michelle, who does a fantastic job. Manatee Literacy, what we do is work with the community, everybody in the community who has either reading, writing problems. We're talking adults who have reading, writing problems or speaking the language. So most of our students are actually English as a second language learners, people who have most likely professions in other countries, but they come here for opportunities and they end up doing things, jobs that don't even come close to what they used to do because they do not speak the language. So basically, once they become proficient and and work around learning culture, American ways, then, you know, they can actually really like shoot for the stars. They become proficient. They love this country. We all do. So, you know, we want to make it bigger and better every day. And knowing English is a big deal. Yes.
Well, that's a process to become a U.S. citizen now, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mayu, you actually came and learned because English isn't your first language, correct?
English is actually not my first language. It's my second language, and I speak Spanish better than English. And so but I did learn English before I came to this country. So I came as an adult myself, and I found that, you know, unless you speak English, you can't really do much. You have to really pursue your language and culture before you even try to, you know, get your foot in the door.
Well, and part of the thing too is reading and writing, and to be able to move it. Yeah, because if you don't know how to read English, I mean, they do put it in Spanish and other languages, but it's hard to go into a society that most people are English speaking. And then to even go for a job, you have to be able to communicate even with customers or whatever you're doing, whether you're in construction or anything, you have to be able to communicate some way, correct?
Right. That is correct. And the other thing that is worth mentioning is a lot of our reading, writing learners are actually Americans who did not have, you know, they went to school and had the opportunity to become educated, but did not pursue the factor that reading is very important, you know, and they have gone through life, you know, just hitting different stages because they speak really well. So, you know, people don't ever think that they don't read, and they actually need the services as well.
Yeah.
So,
to my point, most people are really shocked to find that there's over 30 million adults in the United States that cannot read, write, or do basic math over a third grade level. It really, and having an understanding of the language is the cornerstone to success for any adult. I mean, you can't try to imagine just going through your day and without being able to read, write, or speak English. So over 30 million adults, it really is very important.
And that's one of the problems even right now in our public schools, that the grade level reading, that is one of the biggest focuses out there, because if you don't make it to that third grade level, you're behind the 8 ball. And to be able to even move in life, reading is so important. How do you become that lawyer that all of us don't want to be? Right. Reading those briefs and all. So when you're doing that, and I'm sorry, Jennifer, I keep on muting you because I'm getting feedback from you clicking. So when we're talking about all the stuff that is going on, what was the challenges right now? Because when I've talked with you, Michelle, before, your learners, not everybody's tech savvy, and that's what we're finding with everything. How do you have to accommodate people?
Well, I think that the board and I have worked really hard to try to accommodate both learners and tutors. So, you know, we've moved to a virtual format to keep everyone safe. But many of our learners don't have access to a computer or to Wi-Fi, and some of our tutors, many of our learners, some of our tutors don't have the digital literacy skills to be able to have a Zoom call with the learners. So we've moved a lot onto conversation classes, and the rest of the programming committee here did an amazing job. 5 weekly conversation classes that are free to learners in the program, where they can improve their conversational English. And we are, you know, continuing tutor training online. to try to accommodate new learning for tutors to learn how to teach. So there's kind of twofold. We have to both. So there's we're working hard. We're in the middle of our annual appeal, so we're hoping that will help us be able to accommodate people in a more productively. But like all nonprofits, we're struggling through this pandemic.
Now, do you get any federal funding? Because I'm sure a lot of people will be asking that have that question.
No federal funding. We are completely donor run. No federal funding at all.
And I think that's one thing that our audience needs to know. When people are out there trying to figure out where they want to help financially, but volunteers, you are always looking for volunteers to help, and volunteers are priceless. And right now, what is the struggle with getting those volunteers? Just for everybody here, there's a lot of us that I would love to volunteer out there. Well, maybe I don't, and I know Dee Dee can attest to this. I cannot do anymore. Can I, Dee Dee? And I have her muted, but when you need volunteers, and they have to be computer savvy now, right?
They do. They really, we can help them. Mayu and I and the rest of the programming committee are working hard to help people. We've done things like have monthly tutor teas where we meet, tutors can join with us, existing tutors or new tutors, and learn new strategies about how to teach in a virtual format. So we're working hard to try to accommodate the tutors and to reach out to new tutors as well.
Well, thank you. And you're going to be still in the room, and we're going to have a roundtable discussion at the end here. So just hang on tight. I'm going to bring up Jennifer up on screen because we're going to talk about the Loveland Center. I think she has her mic fixed.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It's connected to a little fancy vlogging kit. So I don't know what that background was, but I tried texting and going in the chat. So I figured it was best to leave and come back in.
And you sound perfect now. I don't have that clicking in the background. So Jennifer, tell me about the Loveland Center, because you've had so many struggles this year because of the clients that you actually service.
So the Loveland Center established in 1962. So we're 58 years strong in our community, and we serve individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities through a variety of life skills development programming. I know that our participants in Northport and Port Charlotte are so excited for this new endeavor that they're taking on with the help of the Northport Arts Center. So that's pretty exciting. But the last 3 years has seen the most tremendous growth across our nonprofit, and we've pretty much tripled in size. We went from only serving about 100 people in Venice to, is that me?
It might be, yeah, with clicking. Go ahead. Just keep on going.
Okay, I don't know how it's clicking. We went from serving only about 100 people in Venice to serving about 450 people across 4 locations in 3 counties. So now we are in Northport, Port Charlotte, Bradenton, and Venice. So we're serving Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte County now.
So from just a little bit, well, and I shouldn't say the little bit because 100 is a lot to serve, to expanding like that. And I know that you've been growing since I've even been knowing. It's only been 3 years that you've done that, right?
All that growth is in the last 3 years. And actually, our Bradenton location opened in the middle of all of this in June. So it's kind of astounding to say that as a nonprofit, we're opening new locations in the middle of a pandemic. But the reality is, it is a critical need. We are an essential service provider. So not only is it respite for the families that need a place for their children or adult children to go, but the reality is it is critical daily living and independent skills that these individuals are learning through all of our programs. So without it, the decline and the rapid decline that a number of individuals can face is critical.
And when you're talking about that, and any of the people can jump in, although I have them all muted, they can't talk right now. But one of the things that I have noticed, though, because of the decline of the isolation for your clients, and that it's worse for them than even for some of us because they need that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What actually makes Loveland unique from a number of other service providers in our community is our focus on a community integration model. We don't just talk about cooking. We actually go to Publix and buy the groceries before we begin cooking. So, we have very strict COVID protocols in place, but a number of the activities that our individuals that again, it's an experiential learning model. So they're not just learning about it from a textbook, they're doing real life, practical world experiences to strengthen those skills. So, they haven't been able to go out and experience as much, but we're coming up with some pretty innovative ways to kind of keep that going. And slowly but surely, I know that a number of our individuals were out at a variety of parks today. A group was at the Northport Arts Center. So, slowly but surely, and with COVID protocols in the back of every single one of our staff members' minds, is able to find a little bit of normalcy amidst everything that's happening. But that is the biggest drawback that would result in a decline for our individuals, that they're not getting out to experience their community.
And because of them individually are mentally limited on some of them, they don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's part of the issues. Now, Dee Dee, I have you unmuted there, and I know that the goal right now, we did a fundraising set up on the Northport Arts Center to raise $10,000. We actually said to the board, help us to raise this money. And there are Facebook fundraisers right on the Northport Arts Center Facebook page for 10,000 plus individual board members that have it out there. And for the Loveland Center, for any of these nonprofits out there, if you go to their websites and if you go to the Giving Tuesday, SWFL, and look for the photo album, it has all their information. And if I am quiet enough, because I'm doing the teching today too, I can bring that information up on screen for everybody to see. Dee Dee, tell me, I know that you talked a little bit about it before, but the joy, because Dee Dee's joy of seeing these individuals come in and create. Dee Dee, go ahead and talk a little bit about why you put this together and how your passion is for this project.
Oh, thank you, Marie. I'm getting some crackling, so please excuse me if it's me. I don't know where I'm getting it from. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to talk about the program itself. It's so satisfying to be able to have programs for the whole community and have the people be happy and thankful. And I got to tell you that I've never seen so much of a difference that it makes to these participants that come from Loveland. They really do enjoy the class a lot. And again, if you go on to the web or Facebook page, Claire had taken some pictures. They were singing Christmas songs today, and Mooney really made them feel welcome. I really appreciate Mooney too as a teacher to be able to do these, and instructor, because she really does have the ability to have the personal touch to it. And I would like if Mooney can also talk a little bit about her experiences and how she decided to do these classes. Is Marie off?
No,
can you hear me?
We're here.
Oh, okay. Mooney?
Yeah,
can you tell us a little bit about?
I'm going to bring up your Facebook page. That's why I'm off air. Dee Dee co-hosts with me one of my shows. So Dee Dee, keep it going.
Yes, ma'am. So
Make a silly face.
I'd like to introduce Mooney Friedman. She's the one with the blonde hair. Claire Harvey is got the dark hair. Claire Harvey is our youth director here at the Northport Arts Center. And Mooney, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and your background.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mooney, also known as Monica Friedrich, but Mooney kind of suits me better. So I am originally from New York. I moved here in June of 2019, and I am an artist. And whether it's mixed media art, sculpture, photography, jewelry, costume design, I love to create. And I really, really enjoy sharing what I do. And when this opportunity came to volunteer as a teacher for Loveland, I said, hire me, let me do it. And I see so far it's just been once a month, but I don't stop thinking about them. I might leave here thinking about what I'm going to do for the next class, but that evolves with every day, with every dream, with every night where I'm thinking about it. It becomes something more. Today, their lesson was all about listening, learning, and creating. I gave them canvases that were 5 by 7, and I talked about covering the entire canvas. We talked about color and the importance of using contemporary, complementary colors, and some of them understood and answered me. Some of them look at me and smile, but I'm able to connect with them. We started with one color. We washed our brushes. We went through the stages of how to clean your brush. Well, they got it. So the next time I asked them to wash their brush, Dorota in the back was saying, mine is already clean. They were following along, and it was terrific. So I gave them all an individual bouquet. Everyone had either an orange rose or a red rose. We talked about the stem of the rose, the petals. We talked about the leaves on the plants that were in the bouquets as well. And they did a fantastic job.
They were beautiful.
They made different pieces of art. Again, Dorota, who is with me for the first time today, she packs a personality that is priceless. She went to it with her polka dots, and she loved her polka dots. And once they were done, once they had all the colors, there was one left that I didn't give them. And one person in the class said it was blue, and I was so excited for them. And I gave them blue, and that was to represent the sky. And Shirley, I took her outside to show where the sky started and where it landed, not just at the top of her picture. And she got it, maybe. And she listened, maybe. Yes, but it was wonderful. Ah, there's Ryan. Ah. There's Najee. She did a wonderful job. Yes. Oh, there she is. There she is. And that's Kim. Oh, my goodness. I can't get enough of them. That's Sean. Sean had a private lesson today she asked me to teach her about the color wheel. So you can see she has a rainbow umbrella, the color wheel, complementary colors, and other little animals that have the rainbow of colors. And I think they had a wonderful job. That's Ryan. He went to town. So once they were done, I was prepared. I cut out a whole lot of butterflies, and everyone got one or the other. One had more orange, one had more blue, and they told me where they wanted their butterfly to finish their piece. So you can see on some of the photographs that the butterfly is included. It is a joy for me, probably more. Shirley, gosh, she's the happiest one in the class. Oh, she's very pleasant. She is a wonderful lady. I love them all. Thank you to Loveland, and thank you to the Northport Arts Center for allowing me to be a part of it. It truly comes from my heart, and I love every single second of it. Thank you.
And you can tell when you watch her teach.
Yes, yeah, it's one of the things that they're raising money for to keep this program alive, because it takes money to pay for the artists' talent to actually teach with them, but also for the supplies, because the supplies are included. Dee Dee, would you and actually Jennifer, I think Jennifer's in the stream, and I'm not seeing Jennifer. Jennifer, oh yeah, there you are, Jennifer. And do I have you muted or you? Okay. Go ahead and talk to people about what a difference this makes for these students in their life. And I think it's Jennifer's mic that's still clicking again.
Yeah, it's crackling. I can't.
Mine is too, actually.
Yeah, are you guys on iPads?
On what?
iPads?
Maybe
I am
they're
on an
both
iPad.
sorry,
Computer,
laptop.
Yeah, those things happen. Okay, so we've heard about all of this stuff, and I want to make sure that we get into a roundtable discussion about what's going on here, because every one of you've had to do some pivoting, and I'll raise your hand if you want to talk if I've muted you, because I have to unmute you if you're having a crackling problem. We're on air, we're on live on Facebook and YouTube, and that's very annoying if you're trying to listen and you hear crackling in the background. So let's have the discussion with everybody about what it's been like for you as an individual. Let's not even talk about your organization. What has the stress level been for all of you? Because you're the leaders of your organizations. How tough has it been to even put together the CDC guidelines within your organization? How much has that cost you? And what do you see for the future? What's going on out there with you? And I imagine, and I've talked with other individuals about this earlier, what's going on with you when you leave your work? What's going through your mind when you get home? How is your mental health? How are you feeling?
That's a good point, Marie. That's a real good point. I know I'm overloaded a lot of times lately because there's just so many things going on, and you have to think of everybody at the same time, making sure everything is done properly. We're trying to put in a Zoom room right now to be able to have classes always online available so that people don't have to come into the art center itself if they're concerned. And we also have it so that they can still enjoy a hobby and a pastime of creating art without leaving their homes if they're in a position that it is dangerous for them to leave their home. So it's a lot of pressure putting all that together and making sure that the organization can still thrive at a time that people aren't able to come to you. So it is difficult.
Yeah, and I can address a little bit because putting together Giving Tuesday Southwest Florida this year was a real challenge. And I'm going to tell you some of the reasons it was a challenge is because of getting volunteers with the tech knowledge to help with some of the stuff, the way that I do things. And then also the volunteers or executive directors that were with those nonprofits aren't there anymore. The communication, or if you did send out something, and I know Jennifer sending out even information to people, it bounces back, or you'll get this message, oh, that person left, I'm no longer with there. And then you call up the organization and everybody's working virtually. So you're not even able to get contact with people. I know Dee Dee helped me line up today, and she and I were both like, well, it's going to be what it is because we're not getting call backs as was Thanksgiving week last week, and we're trying to get everything for today in place. And that's why you're going to see me most of the day, because one thing I forgot to do because I was so busy doing that, getting the show host so I don't have to be online all day talking to everybody. I have to do the tech because it's through my computer, but I don't have to be the one talking to you all. There can be other show hosts there, Dee Dee, to be able to do that. But let's talk with, what's your mental state like though, Dee Dee?
My mental state? Well, Marie, I kind of flip back and forth. There were times, I got to tell you, that during this pandemic, I thought that it was a blessing because everybody got to reset their lives and put what is a priority in the proper place. But I got to tell you, other times I felt that, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can take any more of this. So yeah, it's a flip, flip back and forth. I think a lot of people feel the same way.
Well, how about you, Michelle?
Well, I came on board with Manatee Literacy in the middle of July. I'm just really very fortunate to have the kindest and most supportive board in the history of boards in the world. Like I just love our board so much because they have been so patient and kind with me. In addition to this, we also have 6 kids, and ranging from 13 to 24, and they are, doing all kinds of craziness in their own. I have a 14-year-old homeschool, and kids who's supposed to be in college aren't in college, or kids are in college but can't physically be on the campus, and everybody's just like running amok. There's some. I'm sure that we're all in the same boat there. That so many parts of our lives that normally would be on a path, those paths just kind of, they're all over the map. So YU is just a saint, and she knows by Friday I'm like, Monday I show up and yes, let's go, and then by Friday I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it, and then she puts me right back up there. So we're so fortunate to love what we do and to be and to have a mission that we can so wholeheartedly believe in. Half of our board are non-native English speakers, and so I feel like they're in a particular position to be really 1,000% in on our mission. So we're going to make it, just to your point, Marie, it is what it is. We're going to make it work one way or another.
And you know what? The year of 2020 with the pivot, because national news places that pay people to do all what we're doing right here, they have these tech issues. Everybody's having it, and you know what? It's become a norm for us to accept, oh, well, her mic's, not working real well. We're getting a little bit of feedback, and we do the best that we can. Now, Mayu, how about you?
Well, it's been an interesting year, and I hear Dee Dee, Michelle, and I'm sure I've heard it from you, Marie, and I'm sure I'm gonna listen from other people, but it's really been a roller coaster. It's brought a lot of the good things, like Dee Dee was saying. People went back to being simple and family oriented on one end, but on the other, it just, took you off from your routine. Our brains are completely confused right now because, instead of my commute, for example, is walk my dog around, about a mile, a couple blocks, come home, and I'm like, okay, I'm working today. So that has been my commute in the morning and the evening. But for me in the agency, it has been very fulfilling and humbling because remember we work with adults. So most people really gear towards children and leave our adults aside when reading issues, if you have kids who have reading issues and the parents have reading issues, we're not going anywhere. It's, like we're flipping that wheel. But, if we help those adults, they will help their children. So that's one thing that I've, really focused on. The second thing is our agency, like I said before, is very small. So our board is very committed, which is great. But what that means is we don't have enough money to even pay a full-time job to our wonderful executive director. Wow. So Michelle works, full-time plus overtime, and we can only afford part-time. Yeah. So that to us is a distress. To me personally, that is a distress because, I know how hard everybody works, and I know how hard she works to get this boat, on just going there in the right direction. And, there's a lot that we can't do because we have our hands tied. So
right, and she has 6 kids.
Right. Yeah, and a dog. So
And a dog to walk around the block.
yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of good things, but there's a lot of stressful situations too.
Right.
And and to finish with my volunteers, our volunteers, I loved how you placed it earlier, like when our volunteers are just wonderful, because when we made the call, hey guys, we can't do in person, but we're going to go online. They were hesitant, they were afraid, but we're all in this together. So it has been a learning progress, for every single person. Our learners are learning, the language or to read and write, but we're learning technology. So, we're all there just walking next to each other, and that has been incredibly humbling for me.
Well, and that's for sure. Jennifer, I know that you have lots to say because I know you, and I know what a warm heart you have. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I think you're muted on your. Oh, maybe no. Okay. You got to unmute. Unmute, and I muted. Go ahead.
If I'm responsible for the cracking, I want to sign off so I don't ruin this whole hour. That's what I was waiting patiently to say. But it's kind of unbearable to hear the crackling, and I'm so sorry if it is on our end. But I love what we get to do every single day. It truly is a mission that it's very easy.
I think I lost her.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think you're gone, Jennifer. We don't hear you at all now.
You're frozen.
Yeah, I removed her from the stream in case she can hear us. Now, Claire.
I can really relate to what Jennifer was saying, though, because I do work with children, as Mooney does too. They're more positive people, and so I like to look at the positive things. This past year has forced us to be more technical. That was something that we needed to work on all along. So finally we were forced to do it. I guess it was the only way it was going to happen.
Well, even here at the radio station, because of, and just to give a shout out to my friends, Seth Radesky and James Wesley, and I'll bring up their pictures so you guys can see them. They do Stars in the House daily, 2 times a day, to help the Actors Fund. When Broadway shut down, and I'm fortunate, I have friends in that world, and I saw what they were doing because I went to start watching their broadcast. My friends here teamed up with StreamYard and the Actors Fund, and they put together 2 live shows a day, and they have some of your favorite people on their show when they bring back casts of Broadway shows, but also TV shows and film. In that they have access to all those people. And Seth and James are both real good friends of mine. And I reached out to Seth and I go, Seth, what are you using? And can you teach me? And, having those connections with people that actually already knew. And Seth goes, I'm not that good at it, but here, this is how to do it. So, and then if I came across a glitch, because they share videos all the time, well, how the heck are you doing that? Having people in your life that share some of that knowledge. And I know with everything today, in today's world, I'm not a real fan of Zoom. Zoom, I think, is a little bit harder to use than anything. StreamYard is extremely easy to use. If I was just tagging you guys today, I'd be going up and down and doing all the different things. But if I got to talk, I can only do a couple things at a time or one thing. Anyhow, I want to talk to all of you too about any kind of fundraising efforts that you have going on right now. Michelle, I know with the Manatee Literacy Council, you do have things going on.
We do. It's actually, we're smack dab in the middle of our annual appeal, went out last week, and we are celebrating, this is our very first Giving Tuesday. which we're not using Giving Tuesday so much as a fundraiser, but more for an awareness thing. So we're going to, at 4 o'clock, if anybody is not busy at 4, at 4 o'clock we have a Trivia Tuesday trivia on our Facebook page live. And to your point, we have no idea what we're doing, but we're going to forge ahead and try anyways. So we're going to have fun. That's all we're going to do.
Well, if you use StreamYard, that's one of the advantages. You can stream to, I pay $25 a month, so I can stream to 3 different places. I can bring up comments right on the page. So if you're doing something like that, and if you do, we'll talk off air how to go ahead and do that. But you're able to stream to different locations, and I'm able to bring up YouTube and Facebook all the time together.
Wow. All right.
With that, so for something, and one of the things too is I do teach how to do, even a virtual rally. I just did the United Ways for them. They had asked me to, I thought it was TechUnit. They asked me to host it too. It was a wine and tapas, their Beaujolais annual fundraiser, and they sold out. They actually sold out online for the wine and tapas. People had to go physically pick them up, or they had a delivery service for that day, and it was only an hour long. But the chef that prepared the tapas was on. We used this format, and they were able to raise money. And the beauty of doing everything virtual right now, you don't have the expense of renting a hall or the decorations or any of that. And with anyhow, I'll talk to you guys. I want to go off into my tangents all the time.
To your point, that's fascinating. I'd love to hear more about it, because you and I are in the middle of, along with the rest of the board, are planning our Flavors of Literacy virtual event this year. So last year we had a Flavors of Literacy, which is a great meal where everybody sits down, and it's our big annual get together. And we're going to be moving it online in a virtual format, where people come and pick up the dinners that we're working together with Madison, and we're working on great, it's going to be a lot of really fun events at the end of February 21st.
Well, Eventbrite has gone to online events and that, and I've been going to training for that, just for everybody out there to know. There's a lot of resources, organizations or venues that you can go to, and Give Lively is a free venue to nonprofits that's actually paid for by philanthropists, and you're able to use Stripe as anyhow, we'll talk offline with that. You're able to raise money, use a text to donate, use a QR code, set up your event, get donor base, and all. There are different free things for nonprofits that many nonprofits do not know that are out there for them. So I missed 2 people there. Karen Festero, am I saying that correctly? Festero is actually the president of the Northport Arts Centers board. And Karen, what have you mentally been like this year? You're muted. Oh, are you muted on my end? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Mentally, I've been okay mentally. The first couple of months when we were closed down, it was kind of weird, but when we got back up and running, man, we're up and running. So I think I was okay. Everybody probably has gone through some type of a little bit of a depression. But I kind of try to roll.
You go into the art center because you guys have kept really good CDC guidelines up there. So you're seeing people physically in person. And that makes a difference for a lot of people. If you can do some of that, you still have to deal with that, but we've had to do so many other things too. I'm looking at all of you, and you do your organizations, and you're doing so much to make everything work because your passion's there. And that's one thing, you have passion. Now, I'm trying to think of, I'm sorry, where did Dee Dee go?
I'm here.
Okay, Claire, Next to you, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Mooney.
Mooney, yes, Mooney. Like the Goonies, but you're the Mooney. There I go. Yeah. Now, how's it been like you? Because you just moved down here, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And how has it been? Because you moved down during the pandemic?
No, before.
Right
In
before.
June of 2019.
Okay. So how's it been for you? Because I know that you're just starting to come and do classes at the Northport Arts Center.
I have enjoyed every minute of this move. I love living here, and I love art, and that I found my place here at the Northport Arts Center. It's wonderful for me, with lots of opportunity.
See, that's what we have
He
going
said
on
I
here.
could teach anything I want.
Well,
if you want to teach, go for it. A bunch of classes.
And that's one of the things, if you're really talented, you can do that. And I would like to do a paint party or some sort of party when this gets done with. And I think that we could do a really fun party, and we can stream it like this even.
Absolutely.
We can do this. And
I hold on to a lot of family tradition. And one thing that we've always had, even when I was a kid at Christmas time, is Glee wine. And that's something I'd like to share with a class here of adults.
What is that?
You won't know what it is until you take the class.
Your glue wine? Glue wine?
Glee wine.
Wine.
In some countries, it's called glug.
Oh, glue wine. Okay, I'm going to have to Google that.
It's something delicious.
No,
if you see it on the class lesson, come on in.
Let's talk, because we only have a few minutes before the next group comes in. Let's talk about all the pivots, but your needs. Do you need volunteers besides money? You need money, volunteers. Do you need respite of some sort? Do you need a vacation?
Oh, I know what we need.
Is there all of the above?
I'll tell you one thing that I hadn't thought of until just recently is we need people to respond on Facebook testimonies, because we use that for PR and such, and we hear the compliments from people in person, but I'd like to see it in print in a comment on Facebook. Then I can copy and paste that and use that in reports as affirmation.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the fundraisers you may have going on right now. Judy, I'm going to actually mute you because you're crackling, woman. Yeah, I can actually talk about one of the fundraisers that we do have up on the Northport Arts Center Facebook page. It's a $10,000 that we would like to raise, and it's till the end of the year. If you give today, we may get some matching money with it, but it's for the Loveland Center adults program. Yeah, for having that program year round, because it takes a lot of money to buy supplies to help these adults with disabilities, intellectual disabilities. And Dee Dee, I'm going to unmute you so you can say something.
Oh, I just wanted to clarify what we're using the money for. We want to have classes the year round, and we want to do a big art reception and have an art gallery show of the Loveland participants' artworks that they create. So that's all also included in the amount we're asking. We just want to create an experience. There's 14 individuals right now that I know of that are in this program. They all can't come every week, but we want to give them the gift of creating different types of art using different medias, having the experience of coming here, of enjoying the gallery shows we have, of being with our other artists, and then having a show all of their own at the end. That's the experience we want to raise the money for. So anybody that would like to help us, we truly appreciate it.
And what about that artisan market coming up? Can Claire talk about that?
Yes. This Saturday at City Hall on the green there, we are having our artisans winter market. And I think we have over 30 exhibitors or booths that will be up in many different kinds of venues, from rock polishing to, there's just too many to even mention. And that will be from 10 to 5, if not 4 o'clock on Saturday. Dee, do you recall if that's 5, Dee, or is that 4 o'clock on Saturday? It's 5. Okay, so it's 10 till 5. Also, the parade has been canceled, I hear. So that's
You're kidding me.
That's what I hear.
To poinsettia parade that you had to go and move to City Marketplace instead of having a what?
It doesn't matter. The good news is that that means that people have a little more free time in the day, and they can come on up and visit us at City Hall.
Absolutely. I have another guests coming in, but that's okay. I'm going to talk to Michelle and Mayu. What do you want to do and say to the audience? And where do you want to direct everybody? And one of the things I would like to do for people is to go to the Giving Tuesday SWFL Facebook page, look under our pictures, and I'm trying to bring it up, and talk to us about a lot of the things that you're trying to accomplish and how to get a hold of you.
Mike's.
Oh, are you?
Unmute them.
Oh, you're muted. Okay.
Anybody who's interested in learning more about our mission can visit us on manatee-literacy.org. That's what our reach on. So we're in the middle of our annual appeal, and every little bit helps. Whatever anybody's unit can help us with. There you go. Thank you, Mayu. You're the best. That's it. 746-8197 is our phone number. You can always call for more information on how you can get involved. We're always happy to hear from you. This is $25 a month. Provides online resources for one learner. $100 will provide a class for 5 people for a month. We need a new phone. We need a lot of stuff, but I would love Mayu so kind. But what I would really love is to have an assistant here to help us make a bigger impression. We would love to have some more workplace literacy classes here, so we can help people that have been have lost their jobs during this pandemic, retrain positions, get back to work, and make real differences in their lives and the lives of their families. So every little bit helps. You know, we would love for you to join us, either volunteer or as a learner. If anybody's out there and they need to improve their English, we would love to have you.
Absolutely. And if you look up on the screen right now, I have all their information. Or if you go to Giving Tuesday SWFL, go to the Giving Tuesday participants for 2020, click on there and find their logo. All their information is right there for you, for your convenience. Thank you, everybody, for listening today, for coming on with us. I'm getting ready to actually bring up the next guest, and I think I'm going to have a stork with me on this next hour. Our next people, just to give you guys a little tidbit here, is I have the Peace River Wildlife Center and the Animal Welfare League of Charlotte County. And you know what's going to happen with them? We're going on tour. And you're going to get to see all the wild animals that they rescue down at the Wildlife Refuge down in Punta Gorda at Ponce de Leon Park. So I'm really excited about that. And also Animal Welfare League. I'm going to give a shout out to them because we got our cat through them, the best cat we've ever had in our lives. And we've had cats most of my adult life, and it's the best cat. I love that cat. And I don't like animals. Anybody that knows me, I'm not a real animal person. Anyhow, enough about me. It's about you. It's about Giving Tuesday, Southwest Florida. It's about being kind to everybody. Oh, wrong way. Being kind to everybody. And thank you all for coming on today. We're going on to the next group of people. And again, You're here with the Manatee Literacy Council, the Northport Art Center, and we did have the Loveland Center, but they were having tech issues. So they are off, but always remember that if you have a nonprofit out there that is really dear to your heart, and you don't have to donate money. It is really nice if you're able to, but the priceless gift in life is to volunteer. If you can do that, or even just help a neighbor, pay it forward in life. Today is about just coming together as a community and make it a time, and also thank those that do things in the do thing, for their neighbors, or for, if you see a neighbor that needs like say a brush, a piece of something came off a tree or something, it's an older person and they're not able to, they end up having to hire somebody to do that now for them. If it's nothing for you, just go over there and pick it up and take care of that. That's a kind thing to do. It didn't cost you anything but a little bit of time, and you don't know how much it affects a person. One thing that you do may mean not that much to you, but can be a change in somebody's life.
Absolutely.
So just with anything that you do, please be kind. Thank you all for being with us today, and see you again next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And as I'm taking everybody off stream, I'm by myself, and I'm going to start bringing in our next guest, Kelly Stahl. Yes. And I have Diane Mitchell, and Kelly is here with I'm so excited to have you guys.
I think we need to do something about that.
Yeah, Peace River Wildlife Center.
There we go.
Kelly Stahl. And then Diana Mitchell is with the Animal Welfare League of Charlotte County. And I'm excited with both of you guys because everything I see you guys going like this is always your mirror image. So it's always opposite that you're normally going. So Diana, I'm so excited to see you. And I know that it's been really a challenge because you have
it's replaying her audio.
For Peace River Wildlife Center, because you depend on donations with people coming through and then leaving donations, or your fundraisers.
Kind of weird.
Some of you guys have fundraisers that go on. Diana, Kelly, are you having struggles with your stuff there? Can you hear me?
Why are we getting her?
She doesn't look like she's hearing you.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'll see if I can fix that on my end. Diana, let's talk about the Animal Welfare League while I'm getting all this stuff set for everybody. Tell me about what's going on at the Animal Welfare League.
So it's been a crazy year for us, just like everybody else. We are currently still closed to the public. We only do appointments for adoptions. So unfortunately, people can't walk through and see the animals, but they can see all of our animals online, and then they can call us up and make an appointment to meet their forever friend. And it's actually been kind of fantastic in some ways. We really get people coming through that are serious about adopting, and we've had really good adoption numbers despite everything. So people are like doing the thing. They are coming and adopting anyway, and we love that.
Well, we're at home. Many of us, if you're an older person, you don't have children at home, and you get lonely. Yeah. And I imagine that people are reaching out for that pet, but are you also seeing people that can't afford to keep their pet anymore and they're moving and losing their homes?
Sadly, we get adoption surrender forms. We get we have people go online and do a surrender application so we can review it and see if we're going to have space, that sort of thing. And we really have to be careful that we don't fill up because there are so many people looking to surrender right now. It's very sad. Very sad.
And when you're talking about that, and I do have to thank you, because we came in after one of our cats died, and I brought my I have an older daughter that graduated from MIT, and she was a COO of her company in New York and had to move back home. Actually, I had to go up and move her back home because she's very ill. And when I felt that she was welling, and she's not really well enough, but she wanted that animal. And I said, until you can take care of it, because I'm not a cat box type person, if you want an animal, you better take care of it, because it's not going to happen in my world, although I am doing it. But we came to the Animal Welfare League, and because of something that happened there, they actually sent us to one of your other locations. It was by Kohl's there, that one pet. I think it was that. Yeah. And we went there, and we came across this cat. We were looking at the window, and somebody from your staff had actually recommended this one cat. Well, that one cat just didn't pull at our hearts or anything. I kept on going back to this one that the gal was walking around. I go, he's a different type cat than we normally get, because he was a gray striped one. And I go, but there's something about this cat. And my daughter looked at him and said, yeah. And cats have personalities. I love this cat. This cat he is not high maintenance, but he's loving. And that's why I wanted to talk with you guys of how wonderful a place you are for adoption. I know that we're going to be going on tour with you too, correct?
Absolutely. We're going to go walk around and look at the animals and see what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Kelly can hear me now. Kelly can, yay, yay. Yeah, I had you muted. Yeah, I had you muted right now. But Kelly, we knew that you couldn't hear us, and I was hoping that you would go out and come back in so that fix the tech stuff. No, Kelly, at the Animal Welfare League, at the Peace River Wildlife, before we even go on tour with either one of you, I want to talk a little bit with both of you about some of these challenges, because both of you are working with animals. Diana, you guys are working with the domesticated, and Peace River Wildlife are working with the wildlife that are injured, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's have that conversation. I'm taking your other thing off screen. Kelly, tell me a little bit about some of the animals that you get in, and how would somebody even go about, how do you know what to bring to you?
All right. Well, we treat every type of wild native animal to Florida, except for venomous snakes and alligators. I've yet to find a volunteer who's up for wrestling a gator. So we pretty much let FWC deal with those guys. But we do treat reptiles, birds, and mammals. A lot of people think we're the bird place because that's mostly what we have on display here down in Ponce Park. But we treat everything from turtles and bunnies and raccoons, every type of species of bird. You name it. If you find it outside and it's not a pet, the chances are we're going to take it in at the Wildlife Center and do everything we can to help.
No, how do I do that? If I find an injured animal, do I call you? Do I bring it in?
Yep. We have some great sources. If you're not sure if an animal needs help, the first thing we tell you to do is either call us, or if it's after hours, go to our website, prwildlife.org, because we have loads of information to tell you what you can do to help that animal until we can get it into our hospital. So we actually have our hospital on MLK, which is open every day of the week, of the year, from 8 to 5. If it's an animal you feel comfortable handling, you can scoop it up, box it, and bring it right down to the hospital. If you're not comfortable, you can call us. We have a troop of amazing volunteer rescuers that will come out and literally sacrifice their bodies to try to get their hands on these animals. And then we also are very lucky that our Charlotte County Animal Control will also assist us in getting our wildlife down to the hospital. I say we're very lucky because there's a lot of counties that, the animal control can only deal with domestic animals, and ours are fantastic about helping us not only rescue but transport the wildlife to our hospital.
Well, and Diana, I'm going to have you address that because that would be, you're on the domestic side. So let's talk about a little bit on that side, because some of that you do on your end too. Does the animal rescue, is that the division of the Charlotte County?
So we work with animal control as well. They would, if someone calls in and says, hey, there's an injured animal on the side of the road, etc., animal control will go and check that out for us. They will look at the animal, assess the animal, decide if they need to take it directly to a vet or if it's something that they can bring here to us and that we can try to, if it's something minor, then they bring it straight here. If it's something major, they do run it straight to one of our area vets.
And when you're it's so fantastic to have both of you on the same hour, because we're looking at both wildlife and domestic and the difference there. So people, I'm sure will confuse people and they'll be calling you for the wildlife with this. But I know that the needs, because of CDC guidelines and all, have been so different for you. Like Diana, you were saying that you're closed down to the public. They have to call for an appointment, correct?
Right. So we can't have people walking through. Some of our areas are very small, like our cat areas are very tight. So if we had more than our volunteers and our staff members in there, it just wouldn't be a safe situation. So when someone calls and makes an appointment to meet an animal, they pick out a couple of animals that they want to meet online, and then they call us and make an appointment. Then we can spend time with them, just working with them and seeing if that's going to be a good fit for them.
Absolutely. No, Kelly, with you, people came and toured your place and were able to look at the animals, and actually the pelican feeding, one of my favorites. And that's about 2:30 or so that the pelicans and all the pelicans that are really good pelicans come in and they kind of bombard coming in to feed also, right? It's actually a fun thing. But you were open to the public all the time. You're in a beautiful location on Ponce de Leon Park area there. And I know that you're going to be moving, and I know one of your fundraisers that you're trying to do is raise money for the new location, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yes, and so our hospital on Martin Luther King is not a public facility. It is not open for tours. It is only open for the animals to be dropped off that are in need of care. Now, our Ponce de Leon Park location, that is what we consider our public education facility. And unfortunately, with the shutdown because of the COVID-19 crisis, the center was closed for approximately 6 months, which gave a huge hit to our pocketbooks because the majority of the funds that we raise are right here at Ponce de Leon Park with our donation jug and our gift shop. So now that we are back open to the public, it's been wonderful because people are looking for outside activities. We do require that guests touring the facilities do wear masks while they're down at Ponce de Leon. This is to ensure that our staff, volunteers, guests, and our resident animals are kept as safely as possible and allow us to be open for people to come down and learn about our amazing local wildlife.
Not only that, that's a beautiful location. They've added so much to there with a little park there and with jungle gym or whatever, swings and all for children. Plus they added to that beach there too. When I first moved here, it didn't have where you could actually have kind of like a little beach there. And one thing in Punta Gorda, and I know, Diana, you're considered Port Charlotte, but you don't have a parking issue anyhow. But at the Peace River Wildlife Center, any place in Punta Gorda is free parking. That is one thing that if you are somebody that's traveling to the area and you want to, get into the culture of things, Punta Gorda is a very beautiful location to go. And to the Peace River Wildlife, not only can you go to the Peace River Wildlife, and you have to call, correct?
At this point, no.
No, you opened. When did you do that?
Yeah, so it's been about a month now since we have reopened back to our normal open hours, which is Monday through Sunday, 11 to 4. Previously, we did what we considered a soft opening, where we were only doing tours by reservation for folks that called or contacted us online. It was very successful, and we did that as kind of a trial run, and because we just had so many people that were dying to get in here and take a look, at all the animals. So since then, we've been very successful, and we're happy with our COVID protocols and procedures we've put in place here. And so we have opened back up just like normal. We're just, requesting that guests wear their masks while they're in here touring.
And you're trying to raise how much millions of dollars for your new facility? And I'm actually bringing up the screen here. If you go to our Giving Tuesday SWFL Facebook page, you can go into the photos, and all the participating nonprofits today that are on our live stream today, all their information is there. So their website, their logo, Facebook, Twitter, if they have any of those accounts, it's all there. So I advise everybody, encourage all of you to go there. And what are you doing for a fundraiser?
Well, so we are in a position where we have two fundraising ideals going on at the same time. Because we've closed down the center for so long, our operating accounts took a heck of a hit. We were very lucky that we were in a financial position that we were able to retain all of our staff, our employees, keep them on payroll, and keep our business rolling. But we did take a pretty good hit. Luckily, it was during the summer when our numbers typically in this area are lower for guests anyway. And so we are still trying to make up for some of those operating funds, but then we also have this capital campaign fund that we are still trying to contribute to. Originally, we sent that amount at $1.5 million, and that's when we were originally going to be building here in the Ponce Park, our new facility. Since there, our goals have changed. We did reach our 1.5 million, and we have that stashed away safely, and we've not had to use that for anything, during this shutdown. We are figuring that at this point, I don't have an exact estimate since we're still in the development process of the new facility on Henry Street. I figure we're going to have to raise at least another million, possibly two, in order to get done everything that we would like to get done over there.
Well,
so it's a hefty order.
It is. It really is. I want to bring Diana back up on screen on this side, and I want to talk to her a little bit about some of the things and needs that they have too. Now, Diana, I have a question. I'm cleaning out my closets. I'm doing a lot of purging, and I have a lot of sheets and blankets and towels. Is that someplace I can donate that to? And maybe Kelly, maybe people can donate that to you too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We love our sheets and towels and blankets here. We always tell people, listen, donate your pillows and comforters somewhere else, because a dog can really have a good time with some pillows and comforters. But we've even had overflow too, where we've called down to Peace River and said, hey, do you guys need anything? If we start to get too much, then we certainly want to share.
And the same thing with you, Kelly, right?
Yeah. Same thing for us. We love sheets and towels, pillowcases, any size. We can't use the big blankets. They're too hard to launder, like Diana said, with the pillows. And we do. If we get an abundance that we don't need, we'll take them and drop them off at Animal Welfare League. We consider the other animal organizations our sisters here in this area, and we all try to help support each other in order to take care of all the animals that we possibly can.
So, Diana, what's your biggest need right now?
Geez, our biggest need right now, it's that time of the year, before the holidays, where donations kind of slacked off a bit. So we're up against a pretty good shortage on food. We've also been giving food to people in need that are coming up and have the need as well. So we have basically a food pantry here for the animals that we give the public food. And then there's the food that we need to feed our animals that are here at the facility or in foster care. So food is a big thing. We have a wish list. We have a wish list on Amazon that people can go to and check out what specifics that, you know, we really would like to have. We have a wish list on our Facebook or on our website also to show like, this is the stuff we really, really want, but we'll take anything. We're not going to turn away a donation ever. But yeah, food is a big thing. We're pretty good right now on cleaning supplies, etc. We can always use an extra buck or two in our donation bins to, you know, save up for things that we need to work on here at the facility. So we're working on our air conditioning systems right now. That's always fun.
Oh, that is always fun. I'm going to actually bring up your website so people can see it. I see you have Together We Give, and I do have that up there. Can you see it on screen? There you go. That's their website here, and ways you can help. And your wish list is where?
It should be right
there.
There you go.
There it is. There we have what your wish list is. And I'm looking at this, and truthfully, Amazon delivers for free if you have a Prime. And if you want to give, and a lot of people do give to animals and children, they don't give to radio stations and the arts a lot of times. More people are like this. They like you better. It's just I was trying to be funny. Evidently,
everybody loves the
yeah, evidently nobody's laughing there. Anyhow, here's your wish list. And when you're looking at the wish list, is there some place that you have a bigger need for dogs or cats, you know, for the food? Are you short on some of that stuff more so than others?
It's pretty equal, really. You know, we have more cats than we have dogs. We've got a ton of kittens out in foster. So some things are geared specifically to the kittens. We don't have a lot of puppies out in foster right now. So if you're really trying to concentrate on one thing or another, maybe like kitten food, the Purina One kitten food, we really like that. So
I was saying that you need number 10 envelopes. Are they just white ones, or can you give them any color?
Any color's fine.
Well, you know why I'm saying that?
Why?
I sweepstakes for a hobby, and I have boxes of number 10 in all different colors and patterns and that, because anyhow, that's off-air topic of what we're doing, but that is something that many of my sweeping friends, as I call them, may have in their possession and don't know what to do with, because you don't mail in too much. Everything went online for a lot of things. So looking at this, is there any other place you want to go on the website and talk about with people?
Well, you know, you went right to our first page there where we've got the Giving Tuesday banner.
Mm-hmm.
Also on the top of our website there, you can see where you can click on Adopt, and you can see all our beautiful animals.
Oh, right.
And that's always fun to look at the pictures. We have volunteers that take the photos, and the cat pictures especially are just so cute.
Oh, what's going on there?
Yeah, go to cat. It's so cute. They do little photo shoots with them and put different color backgrounds up that'll highlight.
Oh, look at the cute. Now, both of you are going to take us on tour, correct?
Right.
Okay, and I'm looking in the bottom. Diana, are you going to be walking with you, or is somebody else coming into the feed?
I am going to be doing this myself. So tell me what you'd like me to do.
Well, I'm looking at Peace River Wildlife, Kelly, and whatever somebody has for down below, there's no picture.
No, that's my phone, Marie.
Yeah.
So that I can walk around.
Oh, okay. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. So let's go with Diana first. Well, actually, let's go with Peace River Wildlife. She's using 2 devices. And while you're starting to get yourself in place, Diana and I'll keep on talking until you start going, although you go right into your shop, don't you?
Yeah,
okay.
We're right here ready to go.
Okay, go ahead, and we'll start there, and then we'll go with Diana. Okay? Okay, take it away, Kelly.
That's better. Were you talking to me, Marie? I was getting lots of feedback.
Oh, okay. I actually was talking to you. We're going to go with Peace River Wildlife first, and they'll go on tour. So hang on tight, Diana, before we go on tour with you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Kelly, you need to turn on your sound. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Oh, I'm in full screen. That's why. Dave. Okay.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Now we can. Now we can hear you. Oh, look at
All
that.
right.
What is that?
So this is Mulligan. He is a Virginia opossum, and he is one of our newest outreach ambassadors that's in training. And as you can see, he's got a face only his mother could love. So he's hanging out now on Tammy, our office manager's desk. She's now in charge of imprinting any opossums that we get in that we're keeping for educational purposes. So we went ahead and gave Mulligan a little snack so that he'd wake up for you guys.
He's adorable. And you said he's in training. What does that mean?
So when we have these animals for our educational outreach ambassadors, it's very important that they're very comfortable in situations around human beings. I'm going to dip out of here with the phone. So we spend a lot of time with these animals, making them very, very comfortable with the public so that they can represent the Wildlife Center and help educate on all of these great animals that we have here. So we're going to walk out here on our boardwalk now, and I'm going to introduce you to John Heim and Hoot and Annie. And this is, Annie wanted to say hi, I think. So if you've ever wondered what it looks like to be attacked by a great horned owl, that was it. She definitely loves it. So yes, this is Annie. So John and Diane Heim are wonderful volunteers that come down from New York. They are rehabbers upstate New York, and they bring their educational birds down with them each winter and work for PRWC in order to raise awareness and help educate our public down here as well.
And if you've ever wanted to hear what a real owl sounds like up close and personal, this would be it. Because, wow.
Yeah, and it's interesting how the tail is connected to the hooter. You watch her when she hoots.
Yeah, where her tail goes up when she hoots. Oh, that's hysterical.
So we're going to walk over here and we're going to see the star of the show, Miss Sue Gillio. Oh, actually, Luna, who thinks he owns the place, is here. And this is his handler, Aunt Sue. So you all should be familiar with Luna if you've not living under a rock here in Punta Gorda. He is our little leucistic screech owl. He is so special because he has a mutation that stripped him of his camouflage. And this is why he lives here with us. So it's pretty rare to find these guys surviving in the wild, and we feel very lucky that Luna ended up with us here at the center. Right, kiddo?
Yeah. Well, and Luna's actually one of my favorites, but my husband just loves Luna. So,
yeah, he's a favorite to a lot of people.
And you have CDC guidelines going on for all your staff, and the face shield is actually a good thing because that way you don't have to have the breathing. I mean, I know a lot of people use both, but that's actually excellent. Now, was there a process with all these animals used to not having people with shields and different things on? Did it frighten them?
You know, these animals are so comfortable with their handlers. We really didn't have any issues once we started adding the masks and shields. They all seem to pretty much just kind of roll with it. And so now here's Diane Heim, the better half of the Heim couple. And this is her barred owl, Maggie. Maggie has visual issues. She's actually blind in one eye and had juvenile cataracts, which is why she must remain in captivity. And so she's a wonderful example of a Oregon barred owl because she came all the way from there. And you could see she has these amazing fuzzy, wuzzy feet since she comes from a cold climate.
Wow.
Say
And
hi,
why did
Maggie.
why did you end up having her from all the way from there?
Well, like I said, John and Diane are from New York, and there are different blogs and websites that we can get on that are basically for wildlife sharing. If someone receives an animal that's injured but could make a good permanent home or needs a permanent home, then we can actually look for these guys and place them all over the country. We've even sent bald eagles to New Hampshire, animals all over the United States. So we have a really great network of different wildlife facilities that we can work with in order to help these guys as much as possible. Now, this is one of my sons. This is Orion and his amazing handler, Charlotte, another volunteer. So this is our older barred owl. Hi, you're going to say hello?
Wow, beautiful, beautiful.
He's usually a little more chatty, but what's interesting is if you look at his feet, they're not nearly as fuzzy as Maggie's because he is a Florida boy. And as you know, except for today and tomorrow, it usually doesn't get too chilly down here.
No, and what a beautiful face. Look at how gorgeous.
Isn't he? Yes, he's a sweet boy. That's for sure.
No.
And so, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, with all of these, the handlers get attached to these animals, correct?
Absolutely.
And how many,
it's actually really important that they bond with the animal that they handle, because that animal needs to have complete trust in their handler so that they're comfortable. The quality of life of these animals is number one to us, and we will not make any sacrifices when it comes to that. So a lot of times getting an animal and a handler together can be kind of a matchmaking game. You gonna come say hi, Spirit? And this is Spirit. She is one of our favorites down here at the Wildlife Center. She was raised by people, so she actually speaks human. She's our greeter and will typically say hi to folks when they come to the center and wander through. I think she's being a little camera shy today, though.
Oh, I see that. But what a gorgeous facility to be able to bring families to. If you're coming down to Florida, you want to be able to experience different venues, and this is such a beautiful venue with wildlife that has been rehabbed, right? Because it's been injured in some respect of some sort.
Correct. Yep, all the animals that are in Ponce de Leon Park have all been injured or imprinted and are unreleasable, which is why we're allowed to display them to the public. All of our rehab animals are actually off-site and out of sight of the public so that they can stay nice and comfortable and not get too used to people when they're released back into the wild.
And I did not know that. I really didn't, and I've lived here 33 years. That tells you that I imagine a lot of the public does not know that.
Right, and that's what part of what we educate people here is how important it is for our rehab patients to really have a nice, calm, quiet place to rehabilitate away from people distracting them, because that's what people don't always understand, is that these animals will tolerate people, but they don't necessarily want to be friendly. And it's in their best interest to just kind of watch from a distance and enjoy nature from afar.
Absolutely. And look at the gorgeous day out today. If anybody from out of the area is watching and you're in an area that is not sunny and the temperature is gorgeous today. And look at all the birds. Those are insects, right?
Well, some of these are our birds, and some of them are wild birds that come in to mooch when they can. We don't encourage feeding the wildlife, but sometimes it's hard to tell who's supposed to be here and who's not. But we do a pretty good job making sure all of our residents get the food that they require, and we kind of try to send the moochers on their way. But all of the little white birds in here, the ibis, have actually flown in. They are all wild.
And they just feel comfortable and safe coming into a domesticated area.
Yeah, well, and they love free food. Who doesn't love free food?
Yeah, who doesn't love free food? And we're in your shop now.
Yes, I wanted to show off our updated gift shop. We have a new gift shop manager, and she has just been fantastic. What people also may not understand is all of these little gifts and knickknacks we sell in here, all the proceeds go right to the rehabilitation of our wildlife and to care for our residents. So we have all kinds of great stuff in here for gift giving, and we encourage people also. We have now a lot of these products on our website that you can just buy right off and have shipped directly to your home if you're not local. So this actually gives us about 35% of our income every year just out of this little store.
Well, and also we have Christmas coming up, the holidays. What better gift is to give a gift that actually helps support this nonprofit, the Peace River Wildlife Center?
Definitely. And Stephanie has a lot of great Christmas items in here, wonderful things for the kids. And then, of course, if you want to take home one of our educational ambassadors, we have all kinds of goodies with their faces on it, too.
I love this tour. Your tour is excellent.
Thank you. I hope the video is okay. I know if you move too fast, it can be hard to see.
Right, but you're doing a very good job. And look at the great gifts that you have. I'm looking at all the owl things that you have and the olive coasters. And now, are some of those owls, have you made cups like of Luna?
Oh, yeah. So this is Orion's ambassador mug. This is one of Luna's baby pictures hiding under a blanket. That's one of his mugs. We have Bella, our great horned owl. She's actually at Fisherman's Village today, so you didn't get to meet her. But yeah, we have lots of merchandise with your favorite ambassador imprinted on it. And so things that you can't find anywhere else but here.
And you know, if you've never been down to the Peace River Wildlife Center, do yourself a favor and your family a favor. Take them there. If you have young children or old children, like my husband, it's a great place to take somebody for. It's kind of a Zen feeling, too, when you come to your place, because it is very relaxing there. It's wonderful to see wildlife that you may not get the opportunity to see out in the wild. Correct, Kelly?
Definitely. Especially our nocturnal animals like the owls, it's really difficult to actually see one of those guys out in the wild during the day when visibility is good, which is why people love our owl ambassadors, because you do get an up close look at an animal that most people in their lives would never run across in the wild.
And as you're walking around, are you going to the storks? Not the storks. Well, you have a stork.
Oh, we have a crane. We have Chicky Pants. Yes, let's go see if we can find Chicky Pants. He came to us as a little guy, a baby. He has a scissor or crisscross beak, which would make it very difficult for him to survive in the wild. And so we brought him in here. He's also got some bone issues. He's had surgery on his leg. He looks like Chicky. He's running away. He's on a mission over there.
Oh, I see him. I do see him in there. Oh, it's wonderful. And this is where you do the pelican feeding too, right?
Correct. Yeah. Typically, we would do a pelican feeding for the public every day at 2:30. We haven't done that since we've reopened after the shutdown, just because we're trying to avoid having large groups of people gathering together. And the pelican feeding was such a hit. We could have upwards of 30, 40 people standing by the pond watching.
Right.
Absolutely. Say hey, buddy.
Wow, look at that. How awesome.
See his little beak, how it's scissored?
Oh, no, that was a deformity that he was born with. And like you said, he wouldn't survive.
Yeah, this is not an injury. It's a mutation. It's actually a fairly common mutation in a lot of different species of birds. We used to have a little blue jay who had a crisscross beak as well that we would have to keep trimmed or it would actually lock closed completely. Right?
Is that very common? Is that one of the deformities that you find with birds?
It is. It is fairly common. And unfortunately, oh, he's going to talk. You going to talk? Unfortunately, in the wild, if the deformity is so severe, like chicky pants is here, they don't have the precision to pick up all of those little things that they normally would feed themselves with, little snakes and lizards and worms and things. So we actually feed Chicky in a really deep bucket so that he can get down in there and pull out all of those things that he needs to keep him healthy.
Well, we're getting such a great view of Peace River wildlife, and Diana's going to take us on the Animal Welfare League tour. And it's such a treat to be able to do this, Diana and Kelly, that we can come into your space and actually show the audiences out there what really it is like. And honestly, like here, Kelly, we're looking at the bird part of the sanctuary there. Oh my word, it just wants me to get over there and actually sit and watch these birds and this wildlife, because I don't know of any place that's around here in Charlotte County that you can do this at.
No, I don't think there is. We're kind of a different facility in that we do rehab and we have a public education facility. So we feel very lucky that we can fulfill two different aspects of not just helping the animals, but helping people help the animals as well.
Well, thank you for taking us on tour right now. You're still in the feed. I'm going to bring Diana up because I see that she's ready to take us on tour of the Animal Welfare League. Diana, you're ready, correct?
And I am. I cannot. I don't know if we.
Yeah, she's freezing up.
What Callie has going on down there. I do have something really cute to show you.
Okay. I'll keep both of you up and go ahead, Diana. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's your outdoor with the dog? You're freezing up. I'm sorry.
Let me walk closer.
Okay. Okay, as she's
with Milo.
Yeah. And you're frozen. I'm going to bring Kelly up while she's trying to get that under control, because Kelly, until Diana can get hers up and working, what kind of a phone are you using, Kelly? Because you're the best today.
What's that? I'm sorry.
What kind of a phone are you using? Because you have had the best phone today.
It's a Samsung Galaxy, and I'm going to record that because all of the people here use iPhones and tell me that, they're better. So,
No, I think yours is actually, I've had so many tours with different organizations today. They've used iPads, they've used phones and I think yours is the clearest that we've had all together here. Now, I see Diana. I'm going to bring her back up here. Yeah, there you go, Diana.
I have my, you guys hear me?
Yes.
So apparently once I get too far out from my office, I lose my internet. So I think that's what was happening. So I'm going to have to kind of stay close to the office here. But I wanted to introduce you guys to Milo. Isn't he cute?
Oh, he is. And what kind of dog is he?
So Milo is a like a rat terrier chihuahua kind of Jack Russell guy.
Oh wow! So yeah, he's a pretty boy.
Isn't he cute?
No, he's up for adoption, correct?
He's up for adoption. He's 5 years old, and he really is kind of a silly guy. Some people he just loves, like obviously we're buddies, and other people we take him out to introduce him to, and he's like, eh. and he starts growling and snarling at them. So he's just going to take the perfect person to walk in and be like, that's my little soulmate.
Well, and that's one thing about domesticated animals. They do take to different people, and they really actually choose their master a lot of times.
They do.
Do you have other animals to show us? And they become part of your family, so they're like people.
Absolutely. We're gonna walk around and try to see some of our kitty cats. Way too loud in the dog kennel to take you back there right now.
Okay.
They're all barking like crazy. But I've got two cute little orange kitties to show you right up front here. This is Gouda and Cheddar.
Oh, cute. Now these are up for adoption too.
These guys are up for adoption too. This little guy has one bad eye, but he's still adorable. And then here's his brother down here.
And is there a reason that you keep them apart even though they're part of the family because of the bonding and adopting out?
Well, this condo, actually, they have access to upstairs and downstairs.
Oh, okay.
So they're together. They're enjoying each other's company together, the brothers.
Now, do you find that with domesticated animals, if they were raised in the same litter, that you try to keep them together? I don't know enough about animals to be asking intelligent questions. So,
well, no, you absolutely. Some animals that come in and they're so bonded that separating them is just, it's cruel. They've been raised together. They want to stay together. So like those kittens will be fine someday when we separate them. But then we have a pair of brothers in here somewhere that there's no way we could ever separate them. And then just look at this cute little one that's down here sleeping all curled up in a ball.
Oh, he's a pretty. Now, is he a short hair or long? He looks like he's kind of medium here. He's pretty.
Isn't he beautiful?
Does he have Siamese-like eyes? No? Look at him yawn.
So beautiful. And then there's this beautiful kitty here. This is Felix. Hi, Felix. Hi, Felix.
Beautiful.
They come in all shapes and sizes, these guys, right?
Oh, absolutely. They do. And they become part of your heart.
How about this one? This is Trixie.
Now, what kind is that a black mark? Her markings are unique.
Aren't they pretty? She's very petite. She's an adult, but she's a very petite girl. Look, she wants attention so badly.
Yeah, and her tail has coloring on it. She has like a black mark and then a little splotch on the back.
Well, you want to see some interesting colors. Look at this one. Let's see.
Is it like very
the colors on this one?
Oh, pretty. Now, how old is this one?
This one, I believe, would be about 5 to 6 months old. No. Oh, you're kidding. 2 years old?
2 years old.
She's so tiny.
Yeah, and no, Diana, when you get some of these animals in, like this one that we're looking at, was she rescue? Was she, do you know? I know that sometimes it'll be marked on the cage and that. Was she, sometimes you get, because we're in an older crowd, people pass away and the family doesn't want to deal with the pig.
That happens a lot. Sadly, that happens an awful lot. She was a transfer in from another shelter. We do try to help other shelters when we have space. So we brought her in from another shelter where she could have possibly been euthanized. We're so fortunate here that we always have space to take in other animals from other places. She's just going all around me in circles. She's so cute.
And you're a no-kill shelter, correct?
We are. I don't think I could work in a shelter where we couldn't do this. This is amazing. We're blessed here.
Well, and actually, Diana, they're blessed to have you at the Animal Welfare League. Were you with Cat Depot before? Were you with the Cat Depot?
No, I was not. I've always been here. I started volunteering here with the dogs years ago, and now
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you get drawn to being with animals?
I think that, you're looking for, you hit a certain age and you're looking for your passion, right? And maybe you've worked in another industry for a long time, like I did. I came out of the airline industry, and I just started volunteering, and I realized how much this really all meant to me, and this is where I really wanted to be.
Yeah. Oh, look at that black, sleek cat. Beautiful. Now, are black cats actually harder to adopt?
They can be. There's usually a lot of them for whatever reason, and they're the ones that seem to go a little bit slower than the other colors.
And look at the pretty. And I know that you have that location where there's some of them that can go outside into that one location outdoors, that they even have the opportunity to do that. I know when people are in buildings, depending on your roof, you're doing okay for Wi-Fi now, but when you were outside, it was actually a little bit testy. Oh, look at how pretty. Now, when a person adopts an animal from you, what is the process and how much money does it cost to adopt a pet from you?
So our adult cats, we have an application process. It's the same for dogs or cats. They fill out an application and we go over it with them. And first, of course, we do our meet and greets and make sure that they find the animal that they're going to be most compatible with. And we have them do an application. Adult cats are $75. Kittens under 6 months are $150. And then there's different prices for the dogs. Smaller dogs are a little bit more money than the larger dogs. The larger dogs, it takes a little bit longer to adopt out a larger dog, where most people in our area are looking for small dogs. So we charge a little bit more for the small ones. They help pay for the large ones to stick around forever, if need be.
Well, beautiful. I'm going to bring Kelly back up and actually put it in a different type of a stream here. If you notice, I'm changing my hat, hopefully, with everybody. But let's talk a little bit with both of you about what is the biggest thing for you both individually, the struggles, because I've been talking about mental health with everybody, and personal, because you're both executive directors of each organization, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens is with the pivots of COVID-19 and what has hit your organization, not only there, but in your personal lives, how have you guys been doing personally? Because there's been times that I've been struggling through this. And I'm concerned about a lot of my friends out there. And Kelly, I've known you a while. Diana, I don't know too well, but Kelly, out there with the struggles, and you're trying to do finances and juggling so many things along with your own personal life. How has that been for you? You're muted. Oh, did I mute you? Yeah.
How's that? Is it better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Well, personally, I would say more than anything, it's been really frustrating. I do worry about the Wildlife Center and, meeting our bottom line. So, during that period of time where we were shut down, it was always in the back of my mind, no matter where I was, what I was doing, how am I going to keep making money so that we can keep on helping these animals? Personally, luckily, I have been great. A couple of my sisters got COVID, but they had very mild symptoms, recovered just fine. Fingers crossed, so far, everyone here at the Wildlife Center has been healthy, and we want to keep it that way, which is why we have these COVID policies in place. My staff is my family, and I want to keep everybody healthy and happy and keep them here working so that we can help these animals.
What do you have there, Diana?
I'm at our outside cattery, and we have pretty Zoe here enjoying some fresh air today. She's very talkative.
That's actually Animal Welfare League is one of the nicest places too around. If you're going to go adopt a pet, it's kept very clean, just like the Peace River Wildlife Center. Cleanliness is one of the top priorities at both of those places. Diana, how are you doing?
Much like Hallie, I just feel blessed that we were able to take care of our staff and that our staff is safe and my family is safe, and that we've been able to, we were kind of considered essential care workers ourselves. We had to be here to take care of these animals. These animals can't take care of themselves. So we were able to work all the way through this whole COVID crisis. None of us had to stay home and just worry. We were busy. And I think being busy is just the key to being happy personally.
And the protocols that you've had to put into place, it was a financial burden on everybody. Any of the organizations, restaurants, anybody that's open to the public had to put in all these protocols, and it costs money to do that. It became a burden on a lot of organizations to be able to stay open in some respects or reopen. And I do know that, again, ladies, I will be wrapping it up as my new guests will be coming in. But when you look around you, and I know some of your needs, you have them on your websites, what you do need. If you were to have the gift of the gifts out there from anybody out there, if there's an animal lover, whether you're wildlife or domesticated, we have both of you ladies here with both the Peace River Wildlife Center and also the Animal Welfare League. What would your wish be? Yeah. Diane.
I wish for people just to have this wonderful companionship that you can only get from an animal. This wonderful sense of unconditional love that, this animal is happy to see you all the time. And when times get tough, there's nothing like having that companionship.
And how about
that's
you,
my wish for everybody out there.
I would say that my greatest wish is that the best thing that people can do, which costs them $0, is learn about wildlife and learn how they can be advocates for these animals, because there's so many things that you can do at home that cost you zero money that can help these animals flourish in the wild, and you can live in harmony with them. We're all hoping we can work ourselves out of work one day, but unfortunately, I don't think that that's ever going to happen. So my wish would be for everybody to embrace wildlife and do their best to try to live in harmony with it.
Because of what you do, I want to say one thing to both of you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate, and I know there's a lot of people, of the hard work that you do, because without people like you, I don't know where those animals would be. I don't know where the organizations that you're involved with would be. I don't know where our world would be, because both of you are kind. And that's one thing that's a priceless gift for everybody, is to be kind. And take today, if you're out there, and you need, Diana, you need dog walkers and people to come volunteer with you and to come play with your animals, right? You actually have that interaction with people. That is one of your volunteer needs, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Animals need to be socialized.
And she's frozen. And Kelly, with you need volunteers also, correct?
They need all about. We love our volunteers here.
And volunteers are priceless. And that's one thing that people, they don't think that they can help, but time and their talents are the biggest help that you can do with people, is to share that. Is that an animal that I hear? Yeah, probably.
Probably.
I'm hearing the owls in the background, and
that would be Hoot and Annie. That's right.
And as we're going out of this one, actually, I have to take us out. I forgot I have to go into a new stream. So if you're listening, thank you all for coming on. I have to go out of this stream into a new stream. Thank you all for listening today. And that's why I was seeing nobody was coming into the stream. They're in another one waiting for me. So thank you all. See you again in the next stream. Please join us on the next stream on all places on the bottom of the screen. Go into Giving Tuesday SWFL, KDW Radio, or YouTube Live on 97 WKDW 97.5. Or Alexa, play WKDW 97.5. I'm doing that on purpose so it comes on people's thing. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you
Thank
on
you, Marie.
Thank you, Marie.
Bye.
Bye-bye.